I'm Chris Rilott with your Sactown Sports headlines. The Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings All-Star De'Aaron Fox was out again last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starters only scored 41 points on the night. Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trailblazers Wednesday night. You can listen to Wednesday's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get started with the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on
at 3:10. Ugh. I didn't see it till I woke up, which was not 3:10. Though I did wake up. I had one of those nights where I woke up and I'm like, oh man, is it time to get up and grab my phone? It was like one I think it was 1:18. I'm like, yes, I got more time to sleep.
Isn't that such a weird thing?
It's a weird thing, and I swear to Chris, now that I've done mornings for long enough, that I've had every scenario where I've gone to bed early, I've gone to bed late, but I've also had it where, I bet it's only like 1 o'clock, and then it's 1 minute before the alarm. And then I've had it, oh no, I bet I've got to get up. And there was one time I think I went to bed. I mean, I try to go to bed somewhere between 10 and 11. It just depends. I mean, if there's a Kings game, there was last night, but it wasn't as late. But I've had it where if I went to bed maybe at 10 and I woke up and it's like 11:15, I go, wait, what's going on? So, yeah, it was all over the place, but I woke up about that time and went, yeah, I got a lot more time to sleep. All right, and then rolled right over, out again. Anyway, Dave sent a text at 3:10 a.m., fighting the battle but losing, up all night with a migraine. This one is terrible. Icing, I don't know what that next, yeah. But please prep like I won't be there, sorry. So, unfortunately, no Dave today. Hopefully he will be better and back tomorrow. And, I mean, there's plenty of jokes to be had there that the Kings did that to him. I don't know. But we did see.
I don't know if I should have done that.
We did see via his social media, Chris, that he left the show yesterday. We were all kind of convinced. I thought I had convinced him he was making gumbo. And he clearly did not have he's put out a bunch of ingredients that he was at the store. He's like, guess what I'm making? I'm like, that's not gumbo. And he didn't make gumbo. It looked like he made, do you pronounce it Pozzol or Pozzoli?
Pasole.
You said that's revenge on Dave.
That's a tricky dish to.
Yeah, and the way he labeled it was like comfort food. After the final, it looked good.
Yeah,
it looked good. So why is it tricky?
I didn't see the final product.
Yeah,
it's a hours process.
What is the keep? I mean, I saw beans.
Beans? There shouldn't be beans in there.
I thought that's what he was making. Did I not look at this correctly?
It's on his Twitter.
Yeah, let me go back to his Twitter. And let's find the ingredients. You tell me. I mean, he had the final picture looks great. It almost looks like it's like tortilla soup. He's got a dollop of sour cream, maybe some lettuce in there.
No. This is like,
Did he Americanize it?
What did he do?
Well, did I have it wrong? I was looking at people guessing. Maybe he didn't make pozole. But he said he was trying it. No, I talked to him yesterday. He said that's what he was making.
What are you looking at? Are you looking at its ingredients? Are you looking at the hominy?
No, I first looked at I'm looking at the final picture first.
Okay.
Oh, and the ingredients in the store?
Yeah.
I don't know. Were those beans? Oh, it's hominy. I see what you're saying. And the what's that other bag full of?
Man, I wouldn't have tried it.
See, chicken broth. I saw like glass cleaner. I mean,
chicken broth?
Isn't that what chicken broth is? Yeah, he's got chicken broth there. Now you're just disappointed in him.
Yeah.
So was it revenge?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I'm glad he's not here.
I'm upset.
I'm afraid what I would do to him.
You get mad at Dave pretty easily.
Yeah.
True?
Yes.
Yeah. So this one, how would this have done if Dave was here and he's talking about this meal that he made?
I would say, like, this is your Tex-Mex version of pozole.
Oh, he's defending Tex-Mex, isn't he? He really is. Well, anyway, nonetheless, he is not here. He will not be here today. He will be with us hopefully tomorrow. And you can guess what we're going to be talking about today. At some point, we will get into a lot.
Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football. Did anybody win their fantasy league with that last night? I actually had one of those weeks where I was absolutely terrible. I just, bye weeks, whatever, just had a bad week. And the way I say my longtime league, the bigger league that I'm in, the one that has more financial windfalls if you do well, it's season-long points, too. I mean, there's head-to-head, but it's season-long points. I've always liked that better, my own preference. But every league does it differently. So every point you can get, even if you're going to lose. And we're in that situation where we have in that league that we played forever, Chris, we have a Monday night player, too. Like if you have someone on the Chargers or Jets, you can play one extra player in whatever position. So if you happen to have, like nobody would want Zach Wilson, but if you had him and you start Patrick Mahomes as your QB, you can play a second quarterback as long as you could have Mahomes and Herbert if you had him, or Zach Wilson. Anyway, he wasn't great last night, but the only thing we had was defense. And fortunately, we had the Chargers defense, and they got a score. So it helped us get a little bit better. But I don't know if anybody broke through last night. We will certainly get into the NFL. We'll have our top 5 and bottom 5 before the end of the day is done. We will hear from Sean Salisbury as we do each and every Tuesday. And, of course, we will go into the Sacramento Kings as disappointing, frustrating, embarrassing. I mean, we'll pick words to describe the Kings' weekend in Houston, really. I mean, we can't just tag it as one game. And I know personally, I was working with Sac State football on Saturday. Following the game, was disappointed in what I saw. But I said, you know what? I didn't see the game. It looks bad. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought. Then I went to social media Saturday night, and it was probably the worst thing I had ever seen without seeing a game. Then I did torture myself. I had recorded the game, and I watched it, and it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And then last night, obviously, I had to work the game, watch the entire thing, and that was worse. Dramatically worse, honestly. And we'll talk about the differences of the two games. But I think all of us, myself included, excited to see, all right, look, you got punched in the mouth on Saturday. Bad games. It will happen. Even if you're the most optimistic Kings fan and you think let's say you think it's a 50-win team, okay? It means you're losing 32 times. You're going to lose in a variety of ways. You're going to lose a heartbreaker. You're going to lose a blowout. You're going to have a little slide. Those are all going to happen. But this felt different to me, and we'll explain that throughout the show, certainly. And we'll get your perspective on what you felt it was like, what it looked like, what things might need to change, if any. Maybe you're a panicker. Maybe you're like, hey, there's nothing to see here. It's probably somewhere in between. That's usually the way it is. If you look at the extremes, people fire everybody, trade them all. Fox is the MVP because, look, they can't function without him, to, hey, it's cool. Not to worry about it. It's game 6. I'll probably fall somewhere in the middle there, but we'll get your perspective on that as well. On the drive here this morning, Chris, this was super foggy. Did you have fog coming in from your?
Oh, yeah.
What's the worst conditions that you can remember driving in your life? Anywhere in your travels?
I've never driven in the snow.
Never?
Uh-uh.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh. Something was triggered.
Yes, I wasn't driving, but my friend was driving, and
In the snow?
in the snow,
Orly?
we had chains on.
Did you put the chains on?
We did put. So the first time we put the chains on, like the guy comes and checks it, and he says, he goes, "Oh, have you guys put on chains before?" And we're like, "No." He goes, "Wow, you guys actually did a pretty good job."
Was that easy?
Huh?
Was it easy?
Took about like 15, 20 minutes. But he's like, "You guys did a really good job." And it's just like, "Oh, yeah, thanks." And he said, "You put them on the wrong wheels." So then we had to take them off.
Oh, now, honestly, here's my, I'd never put, is that's a thing?
Yeah. I think like, I can't remember.
I hope are they not labeled?
Huh?
Are they not labeled, or should it be obvious? It shouldn't be
like
obvious.
Whatever, if you're front wheel drive or rear
Right.
so that's what you do. And then so we're coming back in the snow again, and we're in his pickup truck, and there's nothing in it, which is probably bad because it's not loading anything to the ground. And he's kind of like,
yeah, he's wobbly,
wobbly, and I'm like, "Dude, you have to slow down." He's like, "I'm only going 25." I'm like, "You got to go slower than 25." Then we're starting to do it again. He's like, "I'm only going 20." And I'm like, "It doesn't matter."
Go
like,
10 if you
you
have to.
obviously know what's going on. And then we like, we started doing it again. And he did what you're not supposed to do, which is slam on the brakes. And we just go right into like a snow embankment.
Wow. And you laughed.
Huh?
Did you laugh?
No, that was not fun.
That was scary.
Yeah, that was scary. And then like Caltrans comes, pulls us out immediately. Everything all good. He slowed down a bit. We got out of the snow. We're fine.
Yeah. I've driven in the snow. Yeah, that's a bad feeling when you're like you have zero control. You're right. It doesn't matter if you're going 10, 5. Like if you don't have control, that's a helpless feeling. And I'm sure people have seen those videos of trucks or cars that are going 5, and it's like they just start to slide, and then everybody does the same thing, whether that's black ice or whatever.
Yeah, or like you see it like once a year at some hill in like Denver or something where people just keep plowing into each other.
It's like we got an 85 car pileup because everybody did the exact same thing. Yeah, I think the worst conditions I've ever driven in was actually summertime in Mississippi, and it was going from Mississippi to Louisiana, and it was just one of those down south, just pouring. Where I can't even describe a size. I mean, everybody's been in rain, but I mean, it was just almost like a hurricane. Like it wasn't a hurricane. It just
when you get into other parts of the country, you always heard like oh, it's raining sheets.
Yeah,
it's just like what does that even mean? And it's like, I understand now.
Like the wipers are useless.
Yes.
Like you're going, and it's like you can't. I mean, you're so tense. You're holding the steering wheel because you just can't see at all because there's just that much water. And it was one of those things where I don't know any other way to put it, but you're so alert on all your senses. And I don't even think the drive was that long. And you finally get through it, and you're just like, man, I'm worn out. Like you're just so focused on the line. I mean, you didn't need your lights. It was daylight, but it was just gray and just dumping. And you're going, man, if there was a truck in front of me, I mean, I wasn't going very fast, but you're also, am I going too slow? Are people going to catch me? It was like a 2-lane highway. And man, that's gnarly when you feel a little bit out of control, I guess is the best way to say it. So if you're out driving this morning, be a little bit careful. It's a little bit wet out there, not that bad, but it's foggy. We have that here. You know it, but just be careful, be safe, be smart, and enjoy the day as much as you can, because you know what?
Go get them, guys. A lot of energy, a lot of focus.
I'm with you. And the one thing I think Mike Brown might have told the team, Chris, yesterday, and they forgot. They're like, hey, what were we supposed to do today? And they were like, oh yeah, that's right. Have a blast.
Yeah.
And they didn't have a blast. I didn't have a blast. You guys hopefully will have a blast today. We got a full show coming your way. We take you till 10. When we come back, we get it started with Leading Off. That is next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Let's do it. Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
We wanted to see how the Kings would respond after getting whooped in the first half. It hasn't been good. Another 3-ball knockdown. This time it's Van Vliet for the Rockets. Van Vliet hitting the triple for the 3rd time tonight in 5 attempts. Puts him at double figures with 11 points. And Mike Brown calls timeout.
Did you have fun last night? You guys enjoy that? We got a good handful of you on YouTube right now that are here. We appreciate that. I'm going to do a little informal roll call of you guys that are out there. Just let me know via the YouTube if you watched the entire game.
And if you didn't, when did you check out?
Great point. So at one point, the Kings were down 40 to the Houston Rockets after being embarrassed the first time. 40.
That's it. It felt more than that.
It did. Hey, how about that fourth quarter, guys? 37-25 Kings. The thing I had going for a while, Chris, I mean, you in here watching it, listening to it, trying to entertain yourself. My game I was personally playing was when the Kings, let me do my quick math, because if I'm not mistaken, they had 60 after 3. Yeah, they did. My game was, will the Kings outscore the first half Indiana Pacers? The Indiana Pacers last night at the half had 86. Kings had 60 through 3. I'm like, I don't think they will. Now the Kings had a big fourth quarter and ended up going right past them. But yeah, this was awful. It was awful. We will break down its awfulness. Again, let's see. Let us know. What do we got here? Raise your hand if you stop watching at the third quarter. Nope, was out with 10 minutes left in the third. I watched the whole game, unfortunately. Wow, Jess. You're a hero and a Kings fan. Not 1 minute. I inadvertently saw the score. I shut off when Sabonis stopped going to the post. I'll be honest, I turned it off after halftime. All right. When did you give up? Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. No, this was awful. I don't blame you if you did. I am usually a glutton for punishment. I'm trying to think, Chris, as a fan. Look, now we're asking people how to fan. I'm not telling you what to do. If your team, which the Kings are your team, and they're here to stay, your most passionate team is having a day like this. Are you in it for the whole thing? Or does it depend?
It depends.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else on.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Hey, we're planning on doing this. Oh, I can't because I'm watching this game. And then it's like, yeah, I'll go.
Also, I've made a lot of Kings fans angry because I've been so broken by the Kings. I don't really care if they lose.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I want them to win.
Of course.
I hope that they win.
Yeah.
But like,
so this loss didn't necessarily do anything to you.
No. I'm broken. Like,
yeah. It's just another one on the
one
resume.
Of my friends got very upset at me because we were going to a Kings game, and I'm like, he's going on, oh, they need this win, they need this win. And this is when they have like, they're winning like, okay, hopefully we could get 30 wins this season.
Yeah.
It's that era.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I don't care if they win.
Yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? You can't say that. I'm like, I'm coming here expecting them to lose.
Yeah.
I want to have a good time. I want to hang out with my friends. if they win, that's great, but it's not going to affect my mood if they lose.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to get to a point where that's no longer the case, but that's where we unfortunately are still.
Yeah, and last night was brutal, 122-97. Obviously, a full rundown, full breakdown of what went wrong. We could play the blame game. We could do all of that. I know a lot of people are coming in with some heat on the YouTube and certainly in the text line, and we do appreciate all of that and all of your feedback. We'll go through that as the day continues. Again, more on the Kings, but let's get to cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Herbert pushes forward, takes a knee, and that's going to do it. These teams now even up at 4-4 apiece, and the Chargers with a huge tie-breaking advantage should it come down to it at the end of the year.
Last night's Monday night game, not a great game. Chargers win easily, 27-6. Congrats to them. Two teams I'm still trying to figure out. We're halfway through, basically, for the league. Jets are 4-4. I think they've overachieved a bit. I think their expectations with Aaron Rodgers were too lofty. That's me. But obviously they would be better if they had Aaron Rodgers, and maybe they were right on their expectations. The Chargers are kind of this team all the time where you could see a game like yesterday and go, yeah, this team could do some damage in the AFC. And then they, have their own games where they self-destruct, go for fourth downs that they shouldn't, invent ways to lose. Two teams to me that are above average. That's what they are. And maybe even average right now, 4-4 for each team. Each has had their moments. Not the best Monday night game we've seen. Chargers get a road win, cloud up the murky picture in the AFC. And the back end of the AFC season, I think, is going to be fun because right now a team that I think a lot of people thought could go to the Super Bowl is Buffalo, let's say. They're out of the playoff picture at the moment. You're seeing teams like the Dolphins, the entire AFC North, Jacksonville, and Kansas City with the lead. I don't think that'll stay that way, but that's what it looks like today after another week of NFL football. All right, let's get to cut number 3.
Cut number 3.
Runs it, kicks it back out, corner 3 for RJ, and it goes.
What's so funny? It was James Harden's debut for the Los Angeles Clippers as the Clippers were in New York taking on the Knicks. You heard an RJ Barrett 3 there. The Knicks get the win, 111-97. RJ Barrett had 26. James Harden in his debut, 31 minutes, 6 of 9. He's a system, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, minus 18 on the plus minus for those keeping track at home, and I know you do. 18 to lead the way for Kawhi Leonard. Paul George had 10 on the 2 of 11 shooting. Russell Westbrook had 17. They ended up starting those 4 with Zubats. James Harden said he could see the potential in this group. I'm not going to kill them for one game. Certainly want to see how they look over time. They dropped to 3-3. The Knicks improved to 3-4. So the first game of the James Harden era, remember, no camp for him either. He'll work his way into a little bit better version of playing shape. But it was the Knicks that win that one easily, 111-97. All right, so we've kind of done a show open here for you. We've done leading off, but we're going to get into it. The nuts and bolts of what went wrong last night. The Kings got embarrassed again. That's a problem. We will discuss that next.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Shop Black Friday every day at Lowe's and get the best new deals all month. Right now, shop the lowest prices of the year on select major appliances and save an extra $100 for every $800 you spend on select major appliances. Plus, bring home a Little Giant 14.3-foot multi-position ladder. Was $169, now $99. Because Lowe's knows deals. Valid to 11/8. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stones learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stones' Edna's Best Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stones' Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlad with your Sactown Sports Headlines. The Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings All-Star De'Aaron Fox was out again last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starter scored only 41 points on the night. Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trail Blazers Wednesday. You can listen to Wednesday's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
71-42 early in this third quarter. Here's a drive to the basket, blowing by Keegan Murray was Jalen Green, and it's 73-42. Well, our guys back at the flagship station, I think, hit it right on the head. This is not basically a game that you're trying to win. You're trying to salvage some pride. You're trying to show some professional spirit.
How'd they do? How'd they do on that? They check that box for you? Not for me. Not for me. And I think what G-Man was referring to was last night at halftime, Henry Turner and I were on the air, and I wouldn't say I'd given up, but I would say, look, when you're down the way you were at halftime, so let's go back to halftime, it's 67-42. The way the league works, of course the Kings could come back in that game. They can. It's happened to them. They've done it before. And of all teams, an experienced Kings team going against a Rockets team that has a bunch of youth, and the veterans they've added are new to this team, it was probably an ideal situation for the Kings to come back last night. And then I'm just going to go to the first two possessions of the second half. And for those of you that left the game, good for you. You missed it. But I thought those two possessions captured the game in a nutshell. So again, you're down 67-42. I still don't know at this point if Mike Brown and the coaching staff and the players took the halftime window to move furniture, yell, throw stuff. It's one way to do it. To not say anything, to just let them stew and marinate, that's another way to do it. Maybe it's somewhere in between. Maybe it's a combo of both. Maybe a few tweaks. I don't know. I don't know what happened there. But this is a team that's played together, that has veterans. Still a young team, but whatever. It's not young in the way when you reference that. A lot of times that's like a catchphrase to say, well, they're a young team. They don't know how to do it yet. This team knows how to do it. They know how to win. They know how to compete. So they can come back, or better yet, make that a 10-point game. Make it interesting. Make Ime Udoka have to use his timeouts. Make the Rockets fans, who were seemingly as disinterested in a blowout as I can remember, but make them nervous. Instead, what happened? Let me take you back, if you missed it, to the first two possessions of the second half. Kings start with the ball, down 67-42. You're not coming back in one possession, but maybe you set a tone. First possession the Kings have of the third quarter. Their spacing is okay. They're around the perimeter, no paint touches. Pass. Shot clock, go. Shot clock violation. And by the way, Davion took the shot after and made it, but wave it off. Okay, well, not ideal, but that's the first possession for the Kings of the second half. Rockets come right down, about two passes, driving layup, floater, good. All right, 69-42. It's fine. How do the Kings respond now? Pass around the perimeter, another pass. Let's take a really bad contested three. Miss, rebound Rockets, pass, running layup, good. Everything was difficult for the Kings last night. Everything. They made it that way. The Rockets completely outplayed them. I mean, this is going to be more about, unfortunately, bashing the Kings. But Houston played well, and they look like a team that gathered confidence as it went along. And I don't know if you've ever played any kind of sport. Let's do basketball. If you've been a weekend warrior, played high school, played pickup, played rec ball, whatever, it doesn't even matter. And you start to feel like they can't do anything on me. I like the pressure was picking up. They were choking the Kings defense. Like the Kings, it was so difficult for them to get anywhere they wanted to. And that's all credit to the Rockets, and shame on the Kings. I mean, it really was. And so it got me to thinking about a couple of different things like this. The first one is, you'll hear this saying, like I heard this a ton last year when the Kings were on the come up and winning games and doing some things we hadn't seen in a long time. And the common phrase was, oh, the Kings don't win this game last year. Like they don't win a game like this last year. If they were winning a game, this group last year wouldn't have won this game when they win a difficult game, win on the road, come back from 10 in the fourth, whatever they've done last year. And then would it be, well, the Kings this year, would it be, well, the Kings last year wouldn't have lost a game like this. Well, they did, but I don't think they did it quite like this weekend in Houston, because I'm going to look back at the 22-23 Sacramento Kings. Great season. All sorts of accolades, coach of the year, GM of the year, clutch player of the year, multiple All-Stars, monster rookie year from Keegan Murray, 48 wins, and a 3 seed. Really good year. We all know it started 0-4. Now, the 0-4 was our debut under Mike Brown. We were trying to figure out this squad, first full season of Sabonis, and you can't put yourself back into that time in an emotional state. You can look, like I can look at the box scores here and see a 7-point loss to the Blazers at home, a 2-point loss to the Clippers at home, a 5-point loss at the Warriors, and then Memphis at home beat the Kings by 15. So you're 0-4. I do remember very well Mike Brown's like, we're close. I like what we're doing. If we keep this compete level, if we stay together, we're going to be fine. We're going to win games. I'm like, all right, well, that's the message he's telling the media and the Kings fans. And I guess I'll believe him, but I want to see it. And before long, a couple wins, loss, win, loss, and then a 7-game win streak. And 16 games in, the Kings are 10-6. And all is good. Sure, all of that can still happen this year. But if we look at the, quote, losing streaks last year, because now the Kings are on a 3-gamer. The tough, heartbreaking loss to the Warriors, these two blowout losses to the Rockets, and this also brings up the reminder that comes up every year at a couple different times. Would you rather lose a close game or a blowout? The blowouts are embarrassing. You feel helpless. The loss to the Warriors hurt because you go, oh, man, free throw here, stop there, one more made shot. Like, there's little things that could change a 1-point game. When you're down by 40, it's not little things. When you lost by 18 the game before, it's not little things. You stayed in the same city. You had the same opponent to play. It was all in front of the Kings to have a character win, a gut check win, a response win. And they went the other way. And if we compare that to last year, we brought up the first 4-game losing streak to open up the year 0-4. You have to go a little while. I mentioned the Kings got to 10-6. Well, then they had another 3-game losing streak. Let's look back. Again, you can't put yourself emotionally in there, how you felt after this 3-game losing streak, because right now we're in the emotion of what we feel about the way they've played the last couple of nights in Houston. They lost to Atlanta 115-106. They lost to Boston by 18, so they got them pretty good, 122-104. Came home and lost to Phoenix by 5 before ripping off another 3-game win streak. So that didn't quite feel the same to me. Again, not emotional. I can't remember exactly how we felt at that time a year ago. Then you go for a long while. Kings are winning more than they're losing the rest of the way. Their next 3-game losing streak came in game 80, 81, and 82 when they couldn't get the 2 seed. They couldn't fall to the 4 seed, and they started resting people. They lost to Dallas by 4, got blown out by the Warriors in their home finale, and got handed to them to Denver. But at that point, it was like, bring on the postseason. Who cares? Kings had already clinched. Who are they going to play? Be healthy. Let's go to the postseason. And then, unfortunately, their next 3-game losing streak came in games 3, 4, and 5. So I don't know. I don't believe right now what's happening to this team at this present moment compares to anything last year. I don't think it does. Because I would say this, and I believe most of you would agree. If the Kings lost 3 games in a row to the Warriors, Rockets, and they were more similar, or they mirrored the Warriors' loss, I think the easiest way to frame that is say, well, they didn't have De'Aaron. They didn't have Trey Lyles. Those 2 guys are important to this team. Easy to say that after the Warrior game, 4th quarter, the Kings couldn't score in the first 6 minutes of that 4th quarter against the Warriors. Man, De'Aaron would have really helped. Of course he would have. Your first opportunity in Houston, a place De'Aaron probably would play well. It's, returning home. Man. And I kind of put, especially after seeing last night, no excuses here, but I felt like more of the loss Saturday, like that just felt like a hideous shooting night. And I'm like, well, and they didn't play well. I don't want to confuse things. There was a really bad shooting night, but they also didn't play well. Last night, everything was wrong. Everything was wrong. They couldn't get into their offense, didn't get stops. Houston, everything was just easy. I don't even know any other way to explain it. Houston got to the spaces that they wanted to. De'Aaron Fox says that. I can get to wherever I want. Houston got to wherever they wanted. I thought Sengun made Sabonis look silly. I thought the veterans that you count on to get you through a game like this, like Sabonis, like Harrison Barnes, people that have been in the battles. Hey, this is the game for Barnes to do what he did against Utah. This is the game for Sabonis to, hey, our all-star's out. I'm an all-star too. I'll save the day. I mean, it doesn't need to be one-on-one, but I'm going to set the tone, and I'm going to shoot 20 times and go 16 of 20 and have a monster game. He was 3 for 4. 3 for 4. Okay, but he probably went to the line 18 times. No. 2 out of 3. They got worked. They got embarrassed. We're going to have audio throughout the show from Mike Brown. And it's not the end of the world. It's not. But nobody's feeling good about the Kings. And they got to pick a direction. They got to pick an identity. It just seems broken at this point. And it's 6 games in. 6 games. We didn't love the way they played in the preseason. Preseason doesn't matter. Probably right on the outcome. Didn't look great. Won the first game. Cool. All is good. Harrison Barnes, man, will that be the best game we see from him all season? But he looked awesome. Kings hit a bunch of threes. Fox looked good. Everybody looked good. Tough home opening loss to the Warriors. Good response, though, in the Laker game. Kind of a gritty gut check. Happy win. Great. Beat the Lakers. Tough loss to the Warriors. And then just downright embarrassment in Houston. Oh, coming home. That's all they need. It's not that simple. I hope it is. But you just can't go on hope for the Sacramento Kings. A lot of soul searching, and you have to do it this early in the season. All right, we've got much more on the Sacramento Kings throughout this show. Like we said, coming up later in the show, we will have Niners at 9, where we'll look back at, do the Niners make an appearance in our top 5, bottom 5. We'll have 4 down territory, 3 for Madness. That'll be Kings related. We'll recap the game audio. We'll hear from Mike Brown, all that and more. Come back, hit some other sports notes when we return here on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Over the last 5 years, there's been a 25% increase in reported hate crimes. A hate crime not only harms the victim, but strikes fear into their entire community. Our community. The FBI is committed to combating hate crime and seeking justice. We're here to help. If you have been a victim or witness to a hate crime, dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. Protecting our communities together. Dial 1-800-CALL-FBI to report hate crimes. Sponsored by the FBI. Aired by California Broadcasters.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
Jason Ross here, Christopher Lott as well. No Carmichael Dave today, unfortunately. As you know, with Dave, if any of you spend any long time listening to him and the show, suffering from migraines today. But Chris, it's maybe a good thing he's not here. Not necessarily about the Kings, because look, no one's enjoying this, and we'll continue to talk about the Kings. But you are getting personal text messages. Dave's getting a bit roasted for that version of Pozole, huh?
Yes.
What's the biggest indictment? On the picture, I'll say the picture looks good, but
the sour cream.
That's like a deal breaker, huh?
Yeah.
So he very much, we'll say Americanized it. We'll keep it clean.
I think he Tex-Mexed it.
He Tex-Mexed it. Okay. So he's getting killed for that. Let's say so I already know you're disgusted by this, just what he did. But if
here's the other thing too, I'm just like, at first, first reaction, absolutely disgusted. What did you just do?
Okay, but would you try it if he brought that in?
Oh, I try it.
Okay, good. But you're still disgusted.
Yes. But have you seen online the chef reactions?
Yes.
So he'll go and like completely destroy it. Like, oh, this is gross. What are you doing? Out of 10, 0.126.
Okay.
I try it.
Yeah.
That's how, I would try it.
Sure, because then you got to know it's about the taste. Like, honestly, I don't know enough in ignorance here on Pozole, but the picture, I think the presentation looks very good.
Because I would say Pozole's texture is more of a soup than a stew, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, imagine putting, like, sour cream in a soup.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I don't...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't do that, but it just... Looking at this, and I said lettuce, pardon me earlier, that was cabbage.
Yeah.
Is that like a big chip that he has in the top?
Like a tostada. Like, that doesn't bother me.
Okay.
I wouldn't do it.
How about the avocado?
That doesn't bother me. I wouldn't do it.
Cream.
Yeah, that's the big one.
So tell me again, what's the key to a good pozole?
Pork, right? Chilies, right? I mean, like if someone's doing it, it's like a couple hours.
Yeah. Is it hot? I mean, not the spicy.
No, but you can make it spicy.
Make it like anything, okay. But generally, it's not.
I mean, it's like there is a spice to it, but it's not spicy.
It's not intended to be that, but you can make it that way.
Yes.
Okay.
And so when I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm an open person. The way I do things maybe isn't the way other people do it. So I kind of threw out to my Pozole chefs, like, hey, you ever see anything like this? And everyone's just like, oh, what is happening there?
That was my point, that you are getting feedback from others that are seriously questioning Dave at this point.
Angie texts me about 18 question marks.
Short awake?
Picture. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because you were anxious to talk to her and see what she would say. Well,
because we were just having this conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
Me, Dave, and Angie about like Mexican food and Tex-Mex. Maybe that gave him gave him the motivation to make the pozole.
Because he was leaving with, he said, when I talked to him later in the day, he said his daughter's been wanting him to make that, but Avery did. But he was really set on making gumbo, I thought. So he changed course. He obviously is out today, unfortunately, with the migraine. Hopefully we'll have Dave back tomorrow. And I'm glad you'll be here to remind him of the feedback that he's getting. We'll get into more Kings certainly here in just a few minutes. A lot of Kings coverage because you guys have questions, concerns. But just want to hit a few other sports stories here. Speaking of being open-minded, I don't know if you saw this story, Chris, but this guy I think has been underappreciated just as an athlete, certainly in baseball. But Ichiro was working with some students at a high school in Japan, and he's 50. He's 50. And he was working with these kids. He was working on like kind of showing them a power technique on different ways and different hitting instruction. And apparently, while he was at the school, he took about 63 swings and did some damage, literally, for Ichiro. The 50-year-old accidentally smashed a window after hitting a 426-foot home run while trying to demonstrate these proper techniques to the young players. Let's see, as they said, he took the 63 swings, cleared a 26-foot high netting that protects the building twice Fortunately, only one window was broken that day, and apparently the students loved it. Ichiro was more embarrassed and thinking he might get in trouble for that. But at 50 years old, hitting 426-foot bombs, that guy I still think is underappreciated for what he was able to do in his baseball career. So wanted to pass that story along.
That's one thing you always heard about. They used to say that Ichiro would put on a show during batting practice.
Yeah, like could hit home runs a lot.
It.
Yeah, and I remember hearing that too about, I can't remember Tony Gwynn's biggest home run year. It wasn't like even 30, but I think he hit 20-something. Like, I think he said he could hit a lot of home runs. It's just he was never trying to hit home runs. He was trying to get hits, and he thought hitting home runs would ultimately do some damage either to his swing or just he just felt better about putting the ball in play. And what was amazing to me, I remember reading this article, Chris, it would have been years and years ago. It was Ted Williams and Tony Gwynn in SI talking about hitting. And the way they both described it, it was like surgeons. And Tony Gwynn literally could say, like, if I'm seeing the ball right, like I could throw the ball to you right now with, I would say, about 99.9% accuracy because I've done that exercise for 50 years of my life. I know I could throw, I know the distance, I can gauge it. Like, yeah, this could take this much effort and I could get it to you somewhere on your body from here to there. Like I wouldn't miss just because now you start to stretch out. It gets a little more difficult, but he literally would say, I can hit the ball between the third baseman and the shortstop. Yes, I absolutely can. If I want to, I can place it there. And that's not hitting to left field as a righty. That's, I can hit it between those two. I can hit it between first and second. I can hit, yeah, like it's just amazing the detail that some hitters and the gift that some people have, because I know when I played, it was just like, I just see the ball swing. I mean, there's some intention. There's sometimes you're more locked in. Like, I need to hit this one to right field. Okay, let's do that. Or I need to get this one in the air for hopefully a sacrifice in that way to drive in a run. These guys are truly, truly amazing. Couple other things just as we bounce around the sports world before we get back to the Kings to start the next hour. NFL, or one other baseball note, I should say, Craig Counsell, the manager of the Brewers, a little stunning move from him yesterday just to kind of wrap up some baseball conversation. He did a good job with the Brewers. They made the postseason. They were the first team that lost to the Diamondbacks on their run all the way to the World Series before they fell short. He was talking with the Mets and ultimately takes the Cubs job. So he really, positioned himself nicely to get a good payday to take the job apparently that he wanted, and he'll be the new manager of the Chicago Cubs. College basketball yesterday, it got started. There were some stunning losses in college basketball this early in the season. Number one, LSU on the women's side. Remember pointing to the rings and all the stuff that they were doing last year? Well, they lost game one this year as the number one ranked team. And Tom Izzo and number 4 Michigan State on the men's side lost to James Madison. From the NFL, we told you about the Monday night game, which was a victory for the Chargers, taking out the New York Jets, and a game that put both teams to 4-4. And a couple other NFL notes. We got some quarterback decisions. The Vikings, out of desperation, out of injury to Cousins, out of injuries basically everywhere, had to add Joshua Dobbs on Halloween last week. Then he got forced in the game last week, helped lead them back to a victory, and he is going to start this week, this Sunday for the Vikings. And then Kyler Murray, if there are no setbacks for Kyler Murray, remember him? It's been a while since
you're mispronouncing Keegan Murray. He plays for the Kings.
Kyler
Murray.
If they did that, we would be upset, wouldn't we?
Oh yeah.
I don't even think Arizona fans would respond. Arizona's a weird market. Phoenix, for the Diamondbacks, for the Cardinals, Coyotes, Suns. It's a strange market. There's a lot of transplants down there. There's a lot of sports going on, but the people I know that are down there, there's usually people from other states, and they support the other teams, not necessarily the local team. So, but yeah, Kyler Murray, if all things go well, no setbacks, he is set to start this week as Arizona, one of the worst teams in the NFL. There was talk all along that, look, they're going to be the worst. They're going to be able to get Caleb Williams. But they still do have a guy that, 2 to 3 years ago, was threatening for the MVP, when is right, can be a really, really good quarterback. But we haven't seen him in a long time. They are just 1-8. And as we speak, it's them and Carolina fighting for The worst record, Carolina's 1-7, Arizona 1-8. And they likely, a little hint, will show up later when we're doing Niners at 9 on our top 5, bottom 5 in the NFL. Where will those teams rank? And will the Niners, even though they didn't play, crack the top 5? We'll have that coming up a little bit later. All right. Let's get around the NBA. More Kings conversation coming up in the next hour. We've got 3 for Madness. We will hear audio from Mike Brown. Coach not too happy as he shouldn't be. I'm really curious as to what he said to the players as well. And more reaction from you. We'll do all that in the next hour. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross right here on Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
As a roofer, I'm always on the go, so I need to be able to get things done from anywhere. That's why I partner with Beacon. With the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like Certainty Landmark Pro, right at my fingertips. It's like having my Beacon rep in my pocket 24/7. I rely on Beacon because I never stop building, and neither do they. Now through November, purchase Certainty through Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $750. Beacon. Always building.
If you're a business owner, Mercedes-Benz of Stockton invites you to take advantage of a 4.9% APR for up to 36 months on select 2022 and 2023 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter vans. And since new Sprinters qualify for the generous Section 179 tax deduction for business vehicles, you can save thousands. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, sales, service, and a dedicated commercial vehicle department to help your company with any job. See our inventory at mbofstockton.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches on my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple of people recommended the Good Feet store to me, I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. And there is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlod with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings all-star De'Aaron Fox was out again last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starters only scored 41 points on the night. Kings will come back home where they will face the Portland Trail Blazers Wednesday night. You can listen to tomorrow's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
All right, hour number 2 is here. Jason Ross with you. Christopher Law, no Carmichael Dave today. He is out with a migraine. Kings may have given it to him. I don't know. But he is out. We wish him a speedy recovery. I know those are to be taken seriously. And they hit you at the, it's tough too when it's a morning show, right? There's not a lot of warning. Dave gave me the 3 a.m. text. And not going to be here today, but hopefully back with us tomorrow.
He really Littlefield us.
He did. He really did. That's good. That's really good. Chris, you were telling me, so last night, I think you were probably one of the fortunate ones that maybe didn't watch the entirety of the Kings game. And we're going to ask that again throughout the show, kind of how long did you stick with the game, if you did at all. But I've seen, and I saw this on social media. So the Manning cast was on last night, and one of their guests was Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's fine. Whatever.
Isn't it wild to think that he was our governor for a long time?
I know. That is weird to think. But, that's time's gone by. But he's there. And, he's been a huge movie star. I get why he's there. But what was the story? I mean, all of a sudden, everything I'm seeing is he has a donkey, and he was feeding the donkey and talking to the donkey?
Oh, he's got like a miniature donkey.
Okay.
That hangs out at his house.
Okay. It was just weird to see that.
I think he's got like a couple of them.
Okay. So that was a lot of the stuff I was seeing on social media. Didn't see it happen, but you said he called play-by-play, or he described a play during the game?
I guess I don't really watch the Manning cast that much, but I guess they asked for sort of predict what do you think's going to happen type of thing.
Oh, I got you.
And they're on the 21-yard line, had like a yard to go for a first down. He said, "Oh, Eckler's going to run this in," and Eckler ran a 21-yard touchdown.
Look at that. He'll be back. He got it. Again, lots of Kings conversation today. We spent a good time about it in the first hour, but we got a ton more the rest of the way. We got Mike Brown audio. And for those of you that are just joining us, here's what I would like from you. It's on the text line at 916-339-1140, 916-339-1140. How long did you stick with the game last night? When did you give up? Did you give up? Did you stick with it? Kings lost 122-97. We've had a lot of feedback on that on the text line, as well as YouTube. And the YouTubers.
How about we put a poll on the YouTube as well?
Okay, that's perfect. Chris will put that up there. So if you're one of the many that are out there, and the other part that continues to come in is how many people are crushing Dave for his attempt at Pasole? Man, he did not do well, apparently, Chris. Now, this may have tasted good. To exactly what you said, you would have bashed him. You would have tried it, and maybe it was good.
Here's the thing, too, is if he didn't have that sour cream on there,
then you might have been like, okay.
I probably would have been very more neutral. I would have been like, I don't put avocados in, but whatever.
That's so interesting that it's such. But you like sour cream.
Yeah.
It's just that's taboo.
It's not even taboo. It's just one of those things. Why would you do it? I think someone on the text line said.
Yeah, the text line is like putting sour cream in chicken noodle soup. Yikes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, when you hear it that way, okay. I'm trying to think, is there any other? Well, I guess this is if that's not even done. You probably can't even think of something else that hey, I have mac and cheese and you put an apple in it or something. I mean, I don't know.
Sour cream on it.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. I watched half of the first quarter, says Earl. 4 minutes into the third, I felt they were done. That's from that Gamer Boy 7. We got more people. I don't blame anyone for not making it all the way through. Third stringers played harder, says Alejandro. Jimmy, what's up, Brick House? I watched the Keon Ellis show. Then we got wait. He used sour cream? Question mark. Yeah, Delivery Joe. Oh, man. Dave, you picked a good day to not be here for 2 reasons. Text line, painful. Watched the whole game. Kept looking for a spark from someone on the defensive end. Yeah, I'm still waiting on that one. I watched the last quarter, was at my son's soccer game, and I was impressed with Keon Ellis. His shot looks different from last year. Let's see. Stopped at halftime, partway through the third quarter, not quite halfway through. Super disappointing that they got punked by this team on Saturday and then came out and were even worse last night. I expected some kind of response, and they just laid down. Major concerns for the season. This is Oscar from Stockton. I watched half of the third quarter. Yeah, so we're getting a common theme. Continue to send those in. 339-1140 on the text line. Certainly in our YouTube chat. Let us know what you think. Others are saying Dave did not make pozole. Well, that's what the attempt was. Man, Dave, I did not mean he made corn soup. Did not mean for this to go this way. He will be here to defend himself tomorrow. But maybe this is our way to get through this, to laugh at other things, because the Kings right now are making us cry. All right, more Kings coming up in a moment. Do want to cover just a few other things from the NBA, a few highlights from last night. If you weren't watching the Kings and maybe checked out some other NBA, you would have seen a pretty good finish with the Lakers and the Miami Heat.
Reddish for 3. It's off. Jimmy with the rebound, and that's it. This one belongs to the Heat. 108-107.
All right, highlight there from the Heat Radio Network. Yeah, Miami Heat got it done. LeBron James driving right, had an opportunity. It was contested. Butler was with him. Bam was charging over, and he does a skip pass cross court to a wide open Cam Reddish. So, I mean, LeBron can get crushed for that, but he made a good play. Reddish had a good look, missed the 3. Miami wins. In the game, and Anthony Davis got hurt during the game. Here's Darvin Ham, his coach.
We saw that AD tried a couple times to go in the third quarter, and I think the term was hip spasm. Do you have anything else on that and just how he's feeling?
I don't have anything else. He's in good spirits, so we'll let our medical team, performance team, do what they need to do, and then have an answer at a later time.
All right. How about Anthony Davis? He was asked about it.
Yeah, obviously they would have felt like, I shouldn't say obviously, felt like you couldn't make it worse necessarily by going back and trying to play through it? Or is that how much of that's part of the discussion?
That was a conversation. It was just how you feel. Like I said, we did several things to get it feeling good. It felt great. Then it just kind of spazzed up, 2 more times. So it wasn't even a conversation of can I make it worse or anything like that.
All right, some comments there from Anthony Davis. And boy, I feel like there isn't a player in this league that if he gets hurt or just something like that, something nagging, that gets more criticism because, look, the guys on TNT call him street clothes. He seemingly misses a ton of time. He means a lot to that team, and it does seem like he misses a lot of action. All right, meanwhile, a really good game going between Boston and Minnesota. And Boston was the lone remaining undefeated team in the NBA, but not anymore.
Ant drifts off the Anderson screen. Ant looking to drive, spins in the lane, top ball away with one hand. He threw it up. He threw it in. Ant's unstoppable. 38 points. Timberwolves lead by 7.
And the Timberwolves won in overtime. That's Alan Horton there from the Timberwolves Radio Network. T-Wolves now 4-2. 114-109. They win in OT. Edwards had 38, 9, and 7. Great dunk on the night by Jaylen Brown on Gobert, but still, T-Wolves give Boston their first loss. Meanwhile, Denver, they were taking on the Pelicans. They were down early. They would rally. They've got the Joker, and they do it again.
Inbound to Brandon Ingram, and there's the horn in Denver. Well, the Pelicans thought they had this thing in the bag. They were up by 20 in the first half. The Nuggets stick with it, battle all the way back, and win this game by 18 points. Final tonight from Denver, 134-116.
All right, so Denver cruises. They go to 7-1. Count me as one of the people in the camp for Denver that, hey, when you're the champs, I don't know that you're that interested in the regular season. They could probably come from any seeding in the West and do their damage. Well, here they are responding at 7-1, a perfect 5-0 at home, and the top of the Western Conference, joined by Dallas, who got another win. Dallas is 6-1, 117-102. That's been a surprise to me. The up and down Spurs gave up 152 to the Pacers, and Steph and the Warriors won 120-109 over the Pistons. All right, we still got more to get to, but while you're here, while I'm telling you about it, continue to text us at 339-1140. How long did you stick with the Sacramento Kings game last night? We have a poll question that Chris has put up on our YouTube. If you are there, feel free to, one, hit the thumbs up button while you're there. We really appreciate that. And register on our poll. Chris asked the question, how long did you stay with the Kings-Rockets game last night? Out before the first half, out at halftime, out before the fourth quarter, or never left. I love punishment. Chris, I haven't voted yet, so I have not seen the results. I'm going to wait on my vote. Do you have early returns?
Yes, I do.
What are we looking at?
Out before the first half, 26%.
Okay.
Out at halftime, 18%. Out before the fourth quarter, 18%. Never left. I love punishment, 38%.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, your chance to agree, disagree with that. Certainly let us know via the YouTube chat and the text line. We've got the audio from Mike Brown. We'll get his reaction, more reaction from you guys, more of our reactions as well. When we come back, though, we've got 3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness, brought to you by our friends at Fire Wings. That is coming your way next here on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right. We're going to have a fun, somehow fun 3 for Madness. This is brought to you by our friends at Fire Wings. 21 delicious flavors of wings. And I do want to promote that they have 21 delicious flavors of wings, but I'm going to blame Carmichael Dave because he told me about peanut butter years ago. And I went, peanut butter? That's crazy talk. And then that's all I get when I go to Fire.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. I mean, it is. And I should diversify, but every time I go there, I go, you know what? Maybe, no, I'm getting peanut butter. I enjoy it too much.
Whenever I go for the Wing Wednesday, that's one of the things of, I like to put something different that I haven't tried before.
What I like, so if we went, I go, Chris, can you get something different? Because I want peanut butter. And they're like, oh, you got a garlic parm. Can I at least try one of those? But yeah, Fire Wings, 21 delicious flavors of wings.
You know, they're doing pizza. I saw in Atlanta, there is someone that makes a garlic parm, a lemon pepper pizza with the wings on the pizza.
Oh, really?
I wonder if they'll do something like that. Apparently, it's incredible.
I think they are doing pizza, right? Isn't that official?
Yeah, but are they doing like a lemon pepper?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
Pepper.
It smells like pepper.
All right, Chris, what do you have for us? This is going to be an interesting 3 for Madness.
If the Sacramento Kings weekend in Houston was a movie or TV show, what would it be called?
All right, here's where we're also looking for audience participation. So the weekend in Houston for the Kings. If it was a TV show, movie title.
You know what? I misunderstood this question.
What's that?
I thought it was like, what movie would you compare this to?
Oh, you could do it any which way you want. I mean, obviously a movie line, Houston, we have a problem, okay, that's fine. So here's what I did during the break, because, put the question out there. I knew what the question was going to be. So it made me laugh, because that's why I was laughing coming back from the break. I just put into a Google search, worst movie titles ever. And then you start to go down the list, and it just felt like you could insert any of these that would work, like the third worst, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. So like, I feel like that could work for this. Like
that's a bad title. I think it tells you everything you need to know about the movie.
I don't know. It's listed number 3. The one I laughed at coming back or Major League, Back to the Minors. That felt like this team should
underrated movie.
Underrated. The one I was laughing at was from 1968. You would have to change the first 2 words, and you'd know what you'd change them to. But Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh.
You could go. So anyway, you're really creative usually for this kind of thing, Chris. What would you have said, or were you thinking the movie that it?
The movie that best describes it is Transformers 2.
Okay.
That's the absolute worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
I was going to say, please explain.
And like I enjoy bad movies. I like good movies. I like bad movies. And this was so bad I couldn't even handle it. It's the one time I walked out of a movie theater.
Yeah.
Because it was so terrible and I didn't want to be there anymore. Well, just much like the Kings game.
Yeah. How about these entries? Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Weekend at Bernie's, Fools Rush In, Throw Mama from the Train. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was awful. I mean, it was absolutely awful last night. All right, question 2.
Question 2.
What would you have rather done than watch the Sacramento Kings game last night?
Well, some of you who have voted in our poll question who basically left the game, you tell us what you did do. But like, we're thinking of torturous things you don't enjoy doing, things that you would have said, you know what? I would have loved to do that instead of watching or listening to the Sacramento Kings game. I have a lot of patience, but there's certain things I don't, like DMV, like that. Like when you're just seemingly waiting at a place for no good like you might be in a line and there's no reason, and I would have preferred to do that.
Lines are the absolute worst. I don't think I'll ever go to an amusement park again.
Because of that?
Because I don't want to be in line.
And isn't that weird? I think we have more, like if you're with friends or family, you could talk. We have our phones. Like there's things to pass the time. But if you were told the ride was going to be 45 minutes, like a wait for probably a 2.5-2-minute ride, like that seems crazy now.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah. And as a kid, like, I mean, I don't know, probably you would think you have more patience now, but
absolutely not.
Yeah. But it's like on to the next thing. Like when
if I were to go to an amusement park, I don't think maybe I would go on a ride, but I think I would just rather hang out, people watch. I don't think I would want to go on a ride. Yeah. And I loved rides as a kid. I loved going on roller coasters and that, but just the idea of especially something new, like, oh, it's only a 90-minute wait.
Right.
No.
Yeah. Someone said they'd rather sit in traffic. That's the same kind of waiting principle, right? When you feel out of control, you're helpless.
Are you the type of person that gets off the freeway if there's traffic and you know it will be longer, but at least you won't be
because you're moving?
Yeah.
You're like, there's 75 stoplights over here, but I'd be off the freeway.
Yeah.
I'm usually a trust the freeway. I feel like more times than not, the freeway is faster. That is not foolproof. That is not an exact science by any means.
I 100% agree, but I would rather just be moving.
Yeah.
Instead of just being stuck.
I'll do that maybe more so in a city streets. Like, okay, if I can make the right turn, I'm going to get off this street. I know I have to get back. What else would you have rather done? I guess you would have rather watched Dave make his pozole.
I don't think he would have enjoyed that.
Man, it was just so bad. It was so discouraging because of what we thought might happen based on losing the way they did Saturday.
Yeah, like yesterday's game was worse than Saturday's game because it was the same thing.
Right. Exactly.
Well, it's one of those things. Just learn from your mistake from last time.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We got rinse my eyes out with Tabasco. Okay, that's a bit much. Stand in line to have 2 teeth pulled, then get kicked in the you-know-where would be more satisfying. Satisfying. Interesting. Not sure about that one. All right, question 3.
Question 3.
We can all agree you should never put sour cream on pozole. What is the worst food faux pas you have ever witnessed in person?
Okay, so I think what we're doing here is there's such a... I think it's divided by culture, right? Because I think if some things are done predominantly one way in one culture and then it's done differently by someone outside that culture, that seems to be the biggest taboo. And that you could grab that from just about anywhere. I know I'm trying to think of my in-laws, like we have grits all the time. And my brother-in-law would put, like, he turns it into something sweet, like puts brown sugar in there, and everyone's like, but then people do that. But like my in-law family doesn't. It's more just butter and
I
grits.
thought you could do that with grits.
You can't.
Oh,
They
okay.
they don't.
Oh, gotcha.
But I didn't look at it as a taboo, but it just felt like it was looked at as
To
like,
them.
To them. And it's like, what's so like brown sugar in that? That looks like it makes some sense to me. So I feel like that's my explanation, but I don't know of do you have one off the top of your head, faux pas like that?
Well, the sour cream one is the big one.
Yeah.
And then like, I would like to say that I'm not trying to be mean to Dave, but I am being mean to Dave. Tex-Mex is like
Just in general, that's off-putting.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember on the old midday show with when it was me, you, and Damien? Isn't that when I did the peanut butter and tuna? Yeah, I mean that was.
You know what?
Huh.
It wasn't terrible.
No,
it wasn't awful.
I haven't had another one.
No,
I don't need to.
I
like,
do
that's
know what
gross.
it tastes like.
Yeah, I'm like,
I also had the macaroni and ketchup.
Yeah, because that was triggered from Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Like that felt like that flew people off like they couldn't believe that. I'm like, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I didn't think that was awful. But some people lost their mind for that.
Well, then it was Damien's.
But you had like
vegan.
Yeah, I think if you had just whatever, some classic mac and cheese with ketchup on it.
See, like that doesn't seem that bad because I put hot sauce on mac and cheese.
Yeah. People lose their mind. I know, like ketchup on a steak. I don't do it, but I don't think that's crazy. I don't do it, but I just think that's people put ketchup on eggs. It's similar to hot sauce.
I think that's a little different because if you're going to a steak restaurant where you're paying like $35
for a steak, it's like you what? You want ketchup? I mean, the chef is going to look at you funny, but if that's what you like,
I would like a well done steak.
Yeah,
with ketchup,
loads of ketchup, load that thing on there. Yeah, I think people to each their own, I guess, but get ready for the side eye if you do something really weird, especially like that's the one. I don't know that I've been in a situation where I've been at somebody's house and they've served something that maybe I was looking at it like, oh no, I might need ranch or ketchup or salsa or, they're like, for what? I don't think I've been in that situation where I feel like I needed to add something else because I'm not exactly sure I can eat it the way it's prepared. I don't think I've been in that spot. Have you?
No. Luckily in my life, I've been around some pretty good
I'm too. And then usually it's like, oh man, I can't wait to eat this. This looks great. But I don't think I've been in that spot. That would be a difficult situation to be in. So yeah, if Dave came to your house and you were serving pozole, he's like, hey, do you have any sour cream? Would you be like,
I would say yes.
Yes, but not for that. You're not having it.
Yeah, I do. Like, do you need to take some home or?
Yeah, I'll take it with you on your way out. All right, so there you go. 3 for Madness brought to you by our friends at Fire Wings. All right, when we come back, let's hear from Mike Brown, some of his reactions, some of his audio, the highlights and lowlights from the Kings and the Rockets. And what an awful trip. Also, you'll even hear what it did to the G-Man. It might have broke him. We'll explain next.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have, some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings all-star De'Aaron Fox was out again last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starters scored only 41 points in his absence. Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trailblazers Wednesday night. You can listen to Wednesday's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and he could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and vocal.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Well, the comments keep coming in this morning. No Carmichael Dave with us. He's out, hopefully back with us tomorrow. As under the weather, Kings may have done it to him. I think they did that to all of us. But the comments keep coming in about blasphemous things to put on food. And Chris, you were noticing a theme. A lot of it has to do with Mexican food.
Yeah, I saw ranch on enchiladas, ketchup on tacos.
Ketchup's a common one that people seemingly put on something. What was it? Tapatio on oatmeal?
That's when I'm just like, and then I'm like, if you got like original,
yeah,
like
it can't be like a brown, maybe brown sugar.
I try it.
Okay, I think you're gonna try it soon.
Are you bringing it in or something?
Last night was ugly. How ugly was it? Well, it was this ugly.
Well, we wanted to see how the Kings would respond after getting whooped in the first half. It hasn't been good. Another 3-ball knockdown. This time it's Van Vliet for the Rockets. Van Vliet hitting the triple for the third time tonight in 5 attempts. Puts him in double figures with 11 points. And Mike Brown calls timeout.
All right. If and we have the poll question going right now currently. Let's see what our latest results are. How long did you stay with the Kings Rockets game last night? Out before the first half, it's at 29%. Out at halftime, 19%. Out before the fourth quarter, 19%. Never left. I Love Punishment is still the lead at 32%. So we'll continue to update that. You can do that on our Sactown Sports YouTube page. Certainly hit the thumbs up while you're there. We appreciate all of you. How long did you stay with it? Why did you stay with it if you watched the entire thing? I did. I had to, right? It was on the pregame, halftime, postgame. And honestly, I'm a bit stunned. I don't know of another way. It's stunned and disappointed. Close to shocked. I mean, I don't like the team to lose. I don't think anybody does. You're a fan of the team. You want them to win. So if we establish that, then you lose to the Warriors. Okay. That can be explained a little bit. It's painful. We're all tired of losing to that team. We see it, but they got him. Klay Thompson is a game winner. It stinks. It hurts. But you don't have De'Aaron Fox. So, okay. Maybe he's going to play in Houston. But if he's not, sorry, Chris. That's okay. This is a team that is still sorting itself out. I'm speaking of Houston. And you can't take lightly, but if you play well, you play like you did against the Warriors, maybe you get a win in Houston. Or two. Instead, you have Saturday's performance where kind of get jumped from the get-go in the first quarter, never really established anything offensively, couldn't make shots, somehow got a 1-point lead in the third quarter, and then ultimately lost going away by 18. All right, so what was unique about that is you're staying in Houston. They spent 4 days in Houston. Had a chance. We heard they had an hour-long film session. That's longer than normal. Practices, workouts, all that stuff. But you're playing the same team. It's like a playoff series. You lose game one or whatever part of the series. All right, you saw them. You got the intel. You get another crack at them. You were embarrassed on Saturday. So it can happen. It does happen. It will happen to basically every team in the league at some point during the year. Stinks when it's this early. We're making our evaluations of the team, but it's okay. It happened. So the most important part is the bounce back, the response. What do you do in your next offering? And you play them again. It's not like they played the Rockets, lost by 18 in November, and then you don't face them again until March. It's like, oh, remember when they beat you by 18? Yeah, you can't put yourself back in the emotional feelings of that embarrassment. You knew you lost, but that was a long time ago. 50 things have happened between now and then. Maybe a roster changes and all that. No, it's the same trip. 2 days later, same building. 2 days after, you're getting mocked and kisses are being blown to you from Dylan Brooks. So how are you going to come out and respond? Well, you're down 10 after one quarter. You're down 22 points. Is that what it was? 25 points at the half. You're down by 40 on your response game. And then you lose by a wide margin of 122 to 97. Awful, awful, awful. So, how awful was it? How awful was it? Imagine being the G-Man, calling the game by himself on the road. Spent a couple of days in Houston. Didn't like the first game. But the second game is going to be better, right, guys? It's going to be better. It's not better. And we're in the fourth quarter now, and G-Man resorts. This is all he's got left. We broke him.
Boban is undrafted from Serbia. He's in his 9th year. He's 7 feet 4 inches tall. You see him in all the different commercials, including the State Farm, where he wants to change his career. He wants to go from basketball to broadcasting. Bounces the ball again. Still bouncing the ball. Bounces the ball one more time. Bounces it again. Bounces it. That's his debut in broadcasting. Boban Marjanovic.
G-Man getting to Boban impressions. It was rough, guys. It was rough. I know he'll be back Wednesday. I know he'll be in great form. I'm speaking of the G-Man. Question is, how will the Kings be? I don't know. I'm concerned. I'm not going to panic. I'm concerned, though. Really am. I know the coaching staff is. They've got to be. Let's hear what Steve has to say. Steve, thank you for calling in here on Sactown Sports. Your thoughts on what we saw the last two games?
Yeah, well, I guess I'm kind of trying to compare it to what happened last season. I mean, there were huge expectations coming into the season this year based on what happened last year. But I think fans need to remember a couple of things. Number one, the Kings were not bit at all by the injury bug last year. In fact, they probably were number one in terms of not being bitten by the injury bug. So they were completely healthy. So that's one of the big drivers they had that drove the chemistry, the continuity and the seamlessness of their offense last year. I think this year, the other thing too is I think, Kevin Huerter was playing out of his mind last year. I mean, and again, he did well coming from Atlanta too, no question about it, but he clearly is struggling with his shot. No reason, I don't know why, but he is. And it's the same way with Keegan. They're just not hitting shots. So when you have a combination of those three things going on, you're just not going to do it. I think the thing that bothers me is with a smart team from a psychological standpoint, how on earth are they getting to a point where they're just not showing up? And I don't know about Sabonis, but he seems like he's not imposing his will underneath as much as he should be. I mean, he could almost always count on him to flirting with a triple-double last year. So I don't know if so much as panicking so much as maybe level setting the expectations about the team. Maybe they weren't as good as we thought they were last year, and maybe they're kind of settling back into the mean, and that fall from grace is the one thing that is just making us just really having a problem dealing with what they're doing these first 5-7 games out of the box.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thought. Thank you, Steve. I mean, I think expectations could be something that's doing the team damage. That's not their fault. They're not asking for that. But they are a team that has said everything they're trying to do is build a championship culture. So I'm going to measure them on that. I think that's fair to hold them to what they think their standard should be. Even if you're a person that thinks, this team's going to win 60 games or they're going to be terrible and win 20, I'm going off of their expectations. And what we hear is, look, historically, a year ago, they were the best offense the league had ever seen. All right, maybe that was an outlier. Could be. But they can't get to 100 points in 2 games in Houston? Yeah, they're missing De'Aaron Fox. We can put that as a caveat. It's a big deal. I don't want to underestimate that. I mean, I would say my observations on not having Fox, besides the obvious one of him being such a tremendous player, I think if you plug in De'Aaron Fox, even at a marginal night for Fox, he helps round out the depth. I mean, I really wasn't concerned about the depth. All of a sudden, you take Fox out, I just think it minimizes everything. At least that's what it's looked like to me. And a guy like Davion Mitchell, who I've been a fan of at times, this is an obvious statement. The difference between Davion and De'Aaron is monumental. And for all we hear about Davion's defense, that's not impacting the game enough to make up for the difference of the two's offense. And De'Aaron's defense, by the way, is still very good. Domantas Sabonis, a tremendous player, an all-star. That's the kind of night, last night, that he needs to dominate. He got outplayed by a younger player, Alperen Sengun. Sabonis' stat line. I don't even really care that it was a triple single. 8 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. 3 of 4 shots. Where were the paint touches? Realize this team is dead last in the NBA in fast break points. Dead last. This group. This was a team that wanted to shoot 53 pointers a game. Pace. Improve their defense. I think their defense is better-ish. But they're getting worked. And that's concerning. And I'm going to stand by the statement I had before the year to kind of back up. I mean, maybe I think things fell in the right place last year. They certainly did. And I think we automatically go, 3 seed, they're better than teams 4 through 15. Well, the separation wasn't that much. I mean, Phoenix was 4. If the Kings played the Suns in a playoff series, you think they were beating them? I personally don't. I don't. Now, that didn't happen. Memphis was the 2 seed last year, almost the 1. They're missing some players. They finally got their first win. I think the gap from 1 to 15 is not that significant in the West. I don't. So you have a couple of days like the Kings have just had where people lose their confidence, people lose their faith. Hopefully the team doesn't. And you go, man, this team a few days ago was sitting right around the 6 seed. Now here they are, let me see, 11, 12, 13th. 13th. I said before the year, I thought they could finish as high as 1 and as low as about 11 or 12. And maybe I need to change that number to 15. Denver's in first right now. Memphis is in 15th. That was 1 and 2 last year. Granted, we're only like 2 weeks into the season. Long way to go. Dallas is in second. 2 years ago, they were in the conference finals. Last year, they missed the top 10. It's very fluid. Certainly, the Kings can redirect this in the right way. They can. But, man, does it need to get right quickly, because these last 2 games has made me question everything. I mean, literally everything. Where's the offense? Where's the depth? They can't stop people. Where's the heart? Like, stuff you don't want to question. You're questioning right now because of their performance the last 2 days. All right, let's check in with Ashley before we hit the break. Ashley, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, I wanted to talk about the Rockets and Kings, and I'm really disappointed with how we played, because in Game 1, we had a 7-minute, 10-second stretch where we don't allow Houston to score. How do you lose a game where you hold a team scoreless for 2/3 of a quarter, you know?
Yep.
And then we go back and we have another shot at beating them, and we play with no energy, no pace, no nothing in the first quarter, and let it get away again. And it was really frustrating and upsetting to see as a fan, especially when we saw what we could do against Golden State. And I just wonder if we don't get up for teams and we kind of just play down to our matchup.
Well, and that can't be the way they do it, Ashley. Thank you, because let's just do that. Say that framework that you're pointing out there. Right now, everybody basically is above the Kings. So there can't be a perception like, oh, the Rockets aren't any good. Well, the Rockets, I think, are improved. You watch the games, they looked a lot better to me. So if the Kings aren't taking them seriously, if they think, oh, Portland, they don't have Dame anymore, they don't have, and really, I said this on the postgame last night, tomorrow night's game is nothing to do with Portland. It doesn't matter if the Blazers were undefeated or winless. Right now, the Sacramento Kings have to fix their own house. It's all about the Kings tomorrow. On how they play, how they approach the game, how their attitude, how their physicality, how their presence, all of that. Certainly how they shoot the ball, how they execute. But I don't know. I mean, if the Blazers play their best game and beat the Kings, great. But I'm not even concerned about the Blazers tomorrow in that sense. I'm concerned about the Kings' approach, how they look, how they execute, and how they bring it. To me, it's about them. All right, we'll take more calls, more reaction. We'll hear from Mike Brown as we continue to roll along here on Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
It's Carmichael Dave with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from in the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involved.
You guys are great. I do appreciate your feedback, whether it's on our YouTube, but we have a poll question there. How long did you stick with the game? The text line's been running hot today. Appreciate that. Let's see. Last night's game was as good as the movie Clifford with Martin Short. I walked out on both.
What? I will not stand
that was
Clifford abuse.
That was a deal breaker for Chris. How about this, though?
Clifford is a very underrated movie.
Apparently. That bowl of same text, that bowl of pozole does not deserve metal flatware. The perfect complementary is a plastic spork. So they won you back.
They won me back.
They won you back. All right. Let's see, Jason, you don't believe there's something wrong with the team, like in the locker room? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't. But, you can get fractured when you continue to have performances like this. It's too early in the season. I believe this group is really positive, has high expectations, and they showed us what they are capable of, I guess, in both spectrums, right? Certainly they're capable of what they did last night. We're going to get more calls here. This is your opportunity to really test yourself. We asked when you left the game, but there is a Jiffy Lube drive of the game. There was. You can call right now and identify that at 339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. If you know the drive of the game, as called by the G-Man last night, you could win a $100 gift card from Jiffy Lube. You can use that in all sorts of ways, however you would like to. But if you can, up for the challenge, if you were listening as an active listener, can identify what the Jiffy Lube drive of the game is, good for you for listening. And we'll see if you have it correct. Again, 916-339-1140 or 1-800-920-1140. More text. Duarte has been disappointing. I'm also nervous for Wednesday and Friday's game, especially Friday. Yeah, at this point, look, we've all done this hopefully long enough that when you're in a losing way of 3 in a row, you're like, man, I just can't see them winning again. And then you get on a win streak, you're like, they can beat everybody. We're in that other spot right now. Watching this team play so poorly for 2 games in a row, losing 3 consecutive games, something they only did a small handful of times last year. And I was anxious. I really was for last night's game. How will they respond? And the result was terribly.
What's the latest with the
Yeah, we'll get what's latest with the San Francisco 49ers coming up at Niners at 9. But let's see how we do and how you did on whether or not you can identify the Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Up first, it's George. George, you actually listened to the game last night?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You say with trepidation. Do you know what the Jiffy Lube drive of the game is?
Yeah, it was after the Davion Mitchell block from Domas to Kevin Herter.
Davion block, Domas to Kevin Herter. Let's see, is George right?
Ball fake for 3, then he hands it back to Van Vliet. Van Vliet now blocked from the side by Davion Mitchell as he was just inside the 3-point arc. Kings come back 3-on-2. Quick touch pass. Sabonis to Herter for the layup, and it's 13-13. And there is going to be a very early Jiffy Lube drive of the game. Transition push by the Sacramento Kings on a 3-on-2 opportunity after the block shot on the side by Davion Mitchell. Be listening to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross tomorrow morning at 7:45. Your chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area.
By George, you got it.
Awesome.
There you go. So, George, how much more of the game did you listen to? And be honest with us.
To be honest, I had to go grocery shopping for my baby. So I tuned back in around like the third or fourth quarter, and it was pretty painful.
It was painful. Well, you are a winner. Congratulations, George. Hang on. We will get your information. Thank you so much for listening to Kings Games on Sactown Sports, and you will win that $100 gift card. We also have Big Red in Reno said maybe Gary G jinxed us by doing the drive of the game so early. No, I can tell you this, Big Red. That's how good the G-Man is. He had a premonition. Honestly, I've done the Kings games, and when I do them, I really try my best to leave it for later in the game because you're like, hey, this great moment is going to be awesome. This could be the drive of the game or the play of the game, whatever it might be. And I've been burned too many times. I think G-Man had a sense. I better get this in early. I know what happened Saturday. Something bad could happen again today, and unfortunately, he was right. He was right. It was awful all the way around for the Sacramento Kings when, compliments to Keon Ellis, but when your leading scorer is Keon Ellis, that's a problem. He had just 15 points. That came in basically fourth quarter work. All right, let's go to Ramiz joining us here on Sactown Sports. Good morning, Ramiz.
Good morning, Jason, Chris. I'm going to go on a little rant right now.
Go for it.
I was gone by the first quarter. I was devastated by the loss on Saturday. When I saw the end of the score, man, I lost it. Shame on you, Mike Brown, and the coaching staff talking about, our offense is going to take a step back this year because we're going to play defense. Davion Mitchell has been worse on the court defensively than he's been off the court. He can't even hit an open three. Malik Monk, terrible, selfish last night. I'd rather give the minute to Ellis. This team is horrible without De'Aaron Fox. This team will not win a game without De'Aaron Fox. That's why he is the most important player. If De'Aaron Fox does not play tomorrow, we are going to lose to the trashy Trailblazers. And let's be correct. Houston is a terrible team. I had high expectations of this team from last year for what we did at 3 seed. And for us to come out and not just draw a point game in Houston, but two, by almost losing. We lost, by 25 points last night or 27? I don't know. I don't even remember. I don't even care. But this team is – Jason, I don't know what's going on with this team. This team can't even hit an open three. And I don't want Davion Mitchell to shoot threes anymore. If we're not hitting threes, Mike Brown, drive the ball in.
All right, Ramiz, there's your chance to vent, to rant. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. How about Mike Brown? Here's what he had to say last night.
Give Houston credit. They kicked our behind, starting with me. They kicked my behind and on down the line. They came ready to play tonight and punched us in the mouth, and we didn't respond. And it was evident when you look at the game and you watch us defensively, just how many times in the first half somebody on the weak side block ducked in front of our defender and caught the ball at the charge line. I don't know if I've been part of any situation where we gave up 4 or 5 duck-ins to where the duck-in was at the charge line. That's just the evidence of them kicking us in our behind. And then the tough part about it, our spirit got deflated, and we didn't have anybody out on the floor that could bring it back up. And so that also was tough to watch.
Yeah. Yes. Their spirit did get deflated. There was no one to lift them up. Again, there's this, when you lose like this, there's not one person. It's a collective. Look, I think when you win, it's a collective win. Some players play better. Some players get more accolades. When you lose, some people get trashed more. Some people get targeted more. Some people, they did this collectively. But an area I did point to earlier, and I will continue to point to me, when you have a game like Saturday, and then I'm not even going to say the full game yesterday, but the way it was going, you could see this pretty early. How do you get out of that? How do you stop it? And to me, this is my opinion, I really look at the veterans, and I'm targeting people like Harrison Barnes and Domantas Sabonis, the two most experienced guys from the starting group that have played at the highest of level consistently. Barnes has been a team's leading scorer in Dallas, a 20-point scorer. He's been in this organization a long time. Sabonis has been an all-star a couple of times and a featured player. And they don't have to, go one-on-one, but they have to put their fingerprints on the game to stop the bleeding. The first quarter was bad. It was bad. it ends up being that was one of their better quarters. Like, they still can win a game when you're down 10 at the first quarter. Game's not over. At 25 at the half, it's close to over. I already addressed the first two possessions of the second half that were an absolute mess. After you had a halftime speech, no speech, reflection, however it went, it's like, all right, look, we've been embarrassed once, and now we've been embarrassed by a half. Let's go make this a game. And it got to 40. So Harrison Barnes leaves that game with 6 shot attempts. Sabonis took 4. Yeah, they didn't play, the entire game. Sabonis played 30 minutes. Barnes, 22 minutes. I'm not faulting any of the young players, though they are on this roster and can make their impact. But this is a game. JaVale McGee, veterans. Monk was a young veteran, but a veteran. Stop the bleeding. Speak up. Somebody do something. Instead, it just looked like everybody was kind of lost and in a funk. And the team is certainly not over by any means, but they're in a bad way and need to find the right way very, very soon. All right, one more before the break. Akash joining us here on Sactown Sports. Good morning.
Good morning, J-Ross. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks for calling.
Yep, of course. I have two issues with Mike Brown and his enforcement of the defensive principles. It goes against two philosophies I have. One is sometimes I feel like people forget this. I don't hear this mentioned too often, but sometimes a great defense is actually being just really, really good on offense. And I like to liken that to like the Kansas City Chiefs in football. When they're up 21-3 in the third quarter against any team, that team becomes one-dimensional. They can't run the football anymore. Same thing with the Kings. If they put up like a 15-point lead, the team to try and catch back up, they're going to start shooting threes. They can't drive as much. Offense gets out of sorts. So I feel like play to the strengths of the team, which is my other philosophy. A great coach tries to match what his players have. Like, he tries to build a system around what his players have. And I feel like our team is really good on offense, and we saw that last year. So I just feel like Mike Brown should be focusing on what we're good at, which is the offense.
That's a really interesting point, because I thought that way, especially when the team wasn't good. Like when they were a 27-34 win team for a couple of years. Like, all right, find something you're good at and just embellish that and go and see how many wins that can get you. Well, last year they became one of the best offenses in the history of the league. And I think there's been some tweaks to the offense, but certainly an emphasis on defense. And I know that was brought up during several broadcasts. I heard Katie mention it last night too, that in the long run, this might be more beneficial for the Kings. And sure, it's hard to see that right now. It might be, but I think I'd like to see even more improvements from the defensive end to make me feel about what they're lacking on the offensive end. I mean, I think there's a subtle improvement, and even there's numeric improvement for the Kings defensively, but they're not a lockdown defensive team. I don't know that we expected that, but they were a special offensive team. Now, here's one area I should point out. Remember, they started 0-4. Technically, by definition, the same record at this time last year. And I think at this time last year, they were about a top 10 offense and then got it together and went to number 1 with a cushion. You just can't see that right now, can you? I can't. And I know De'Aaron will help. We can't underestimate the missing of Trey Lyles. I think he will help a lot too. But the rest of the group, what if De'Aaron misses 2 more weeks? I don't think that's going to be the case, but he might miss more time during the season. You can't be that reliant on one person and look that dysfunctional when they're gone. More performances like they had against the Warriors without him, I think, are what we'd all accept. You don't want the result of losses, but we'd accept that. Last night, unacceptable. It's unacceptable. More reaction from you. More reaction from Coach Brown. What is up with the Kings? We ask that next.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Tuesday. You'll need the shades and the jacket. A cooler start out there this morning. Everybody feels that. So we head through the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Today, a dry day with highs mid to upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Winter's coming, so let's kick off the cold season right and get your heater all tuned up. Now just $79. No matter how cold it gets outside, you'll always be warm and toasty inside. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With wet weather here, you're probably going to play a few rounds in the rain, so keep a few things in mind in those wet conditions. The ball probably won't go as far because you'll get little, if any, run out. If you tend to hit the ball low, maybe think about adjusting the loft of your driver to carry the ball farther. And when you get to the short clubs on the wet ground, your wedge can have a tendency to dig into the turf, so focus on hitting the ball first. And if you occasionally spin the ball back on the greens, expect more of that to happen when they're wet. Now, all of this assumes that you're ready to play in the rain. You own waterproof shoes and rain gear, rain gloves which work best when wet, and an extra towel to keep everything else dry. But the most important thing you should bring to the first tee is a positive attitude. I found some of my most memorable rounds have been played in the rain. Overcoming the conditions to enjoy yourself while possibly shooting a good score makes for a great day. And remember, golf is a game, even in the rain. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung on line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings are once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings All-Star De'Aaron Fox is out last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starter scored only 41 points without him. The Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trail Blazers Wednesday night. You can listen to tomorrow's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. Bronny passes a medical examination later this month. He will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Final seconds will tick away. Houston advances it to the front court as the horn sounds, and this one is finally over. So life without De'Aaron Fox for the Sacramento Kings has not been good. It started out on a promising note with a heartbreaking 1-point loss to the Warriors in San Francisco. But the 2 games against the Houston Rockets here in Texas have been nothing short of full-blown disasters for the Kings. Final score in this one, somewhere we can find it here on the computer, 122-97.
They had us on our heels, shot clock violations, not only shot clock violations, the shots we took. I mean, there were 3 or 4 times that we pulled up from 3, 10 feet outside the 3-point line because of their physicality pushing us further and further and further out. And somehow, some way, we have to match our opponent's physicality or exceed it in order to be able to execute offensively. And it comes from with pace and all those other things, and not letting guys knock you off your spot, and all the little things that it takes to be a good offensive team.
Mike Brown last night after the Kings blowout loss again. So we asked the question, what is up with the Kings? 2-4, 3 straight losses. Again, same record at this point last year. Feels different, doesn't it? Kings started 0-4, won the next 2, and the 4 losses to begin the year, they were competitive, close, had opportunities to win. Now they've lost 3 straight, had 1 close loss to the Warriors, but 2 embarrassing performances in Houston. They come home tomorrow night to take on a Blazer team that also has more wins than the Kings. So Jason Ross here with you, Christopher Lott as well. No Carmichael Dave today. He is out with unfortunately with a migraine. And so hopefully he'll be back with us. And I don't know if the Kings did it to him or not, or whoever else. I mean, it was a rough night. No other way to explain it. We've been talking a lot about it today. We're going to continue more in this hour about that, more from you on it as well. Still to come in the show in our next segment, we visit each and every Tuesday with Sean Salisbury. We got 4 down territory. We'll recap our 3 in the key, how we did yesterday. Niners at 9. We'll still look at Kings and Rockets a few more times as well. And then we end it all up with crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. But let's hear from Will, who's kind enough to check in with us this morning. Good morning, Will.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for calling.
First, I just want to say I think the last 2 games are very disappointing, but I'm not worried yet. It's still early in the season. Like, I still have faith in this team. But I think one of the big things to notice is that the Kings thrive on momentum and energy. Even if you look at all the games last season, we were just very good at keeping that momentum together and storming over these other teams. And I think if you look at the last 2 games, Houston just did a really great job of not ever letting us get any momentum at all. The Kings are such a moody team. Like, we thrive on each other. And you could just tell last night they were dejected. They weren't in it. They just weren't themselves. And I think we have to get that momentum going if we're going to see that offense that we saw last year.
Yeah, there might be something to that. Thank you, Will. I mean, I know certainly at home they can thrive off the fans, but in the road, they did such a good job of winning road games a year ago. And Moody is an interesting way to look at it, but obviously nobody's ever happy when you're down and you're getting embarrassed. But the fact that they couldn't figure out how to get out of that was concerning. And again, you can have a bad quarter, you can have a bad half, but it's just that they didn't know how to get out of it after just playing the same team that did it to them. And it leaves you feeling like, well, the Rockets are better than the Kings. I mean, that's how it looked for 2 days. And it's tough to dispute that. We all go, well, the Kings are better because look what they did last year and look what the Rockets did. That's irrelevant this year. It doesn't matter. It's a new year, and you've got to prove yourself. And I think the Kings have put in a lot of work defensively. And I think they have done some tweaks to their offense, but they're still searching for who they want to be. And let's hear Mike Brown yesterday talk about that, about their identity.
We still have to play physical, but we have to play physical the right way. We can't wait until the end of the season to try to ramp that up. we want to be a physical team. But there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Right now, all the reaching that we're doing has to be eliminated, or it has to be lessened. And then the last thing is we want to play the right way. And again, I go back to it is what it is, but we all saw it. That last group, they played the right way. I mean, nobody held the ball. They got off the ball. They executed whatever they were in. And you're talking about a group that hasn't gotten a lot of reps. And that group looked like our team last year offensively, the pace that we played at, especially in the half court. And I don't even know if that group has played in a game together yet. And so for me, that's what our identity is. We want to play fast. We want to play physical. And we want to play the right way together. So we know what our identity is. It's a matter of, can we get 5 guys on the floor that believe in it and will go do it? And that's my job.
All right, so I want to pick apart what Coach Brown said there. What he wants the identity to be. Play fast, play physical, and play the right way together. I would say for a season ago, we saw this team play very fast, and we saw them play the right way together. I would question the physical nature last year. They weren't soft by me, but I wouldn't have considered them a physical team. I think it was more than noticeable how they changed their physical nature in the postseason. The Warriors were physical with them. The Kings were physical back. I think that happened. And I think if they're trying to pick that up, I've seen it at times. I think he brought it up earlier. Houston initiated that contact. They were way more physical. Look at how they just disrupted the Kings' flow. And obviously, Fox can get through a lot of that to disrupt a team's physical nature. And if they're pressuring you and pressuring the perimeter, sometimes De'Aaron can become his one-man show. Not that he's just dribbling around everybody and taking, but he puts so much pressure on the defense that collapses like they talk about paint touches, how valuable that is. They just didn't get into the paint. There wasn't a presence felt. There wasn't creation. And the other part he talked about is being that physical team. There's a difference between physical and then fouling. The Kings are, and Michael Malone used to say this all the time, defend without fouling. The Kings at the half, I think the free throw differential, and it wasn't a questioning of the officials, it was a questioning of the Kings fouling. They had fouled something like 20 times, 22 free throw attempts to 4. And you had Murray, Sabonis, Monk, and McGee all with 3 fouls at half. And personally, I thought they gave up on Monk too soon. He had 3 fouls. At that point, I'd keep him in. I'm not worried about Malik Monk fouling out. I'm worried about this game ballooning to 20 points and it went to 25. I think when you don't have De'Aaron Fox, I think this team is missing another reliable point guard, reliable decision maker. Davion Mitchell has his strengths. He can defend. He can score the ball sometimes offensively and can do some things. He's not a creator offensively. I think Malik Monk is, so I think you either have to. I mean, to me, the non-negotiable things, if this team is healthy, this is my opinion, I'm not the coach, this is me. If your roster is healthy, the whole roster is available for the coaching staff. I think De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, or Malik Monk have to be on the floor. Those 3, one of them has to. Because if they're not, they don't function as well. And even when they're on there right now, they're not functioning as well. But when Monk was in foul trouble and off the floor, they were cooked. If Sabonis went to the bench and Monk wasn't on the floor, they were really bad. And obviously they miss Fox. I mean, that's an easy statement. So we'll see how they go forward. More on the Kings, what's going wrong with them, more on the Rockets' performance last night. When we come back, our weekly check with Sean Salisbury. We bounce around the NFL. Some quick thoughts from him as he joins us on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year. All-stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
What's for dinner? Burgers?
After last week, no thanks.
Avoiding foods due to fear of diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools? It may not be just stomach issues. It could be EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency. EPI can cause uncomfortable symptoms because it's a condition where the pancreas doesn't release enough digestive enzymes to break down food. But EPI can be managed. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor about your symptoms. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
ABC tomorrow.
It's country music's biggest night.
The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and K. Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney, Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton, Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town, and more.
The best in country music!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host.
The CMA Awards, live.
Tomorrow, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
All right, no Carmichael Dave with us today. Hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow, but it is Tuesday, 8:15. You know, we always get to check in with our guy, Sean Salisbury, joining us from Houston. Sean, maybe we'll start there. We got a lot of football to talk to you about, but man, your Houston Rockets embarrassed the Kings for the last two performances.
Yeah, they playing pretty good basketball now. Started slow. I mean, they got hammered early and then went on a roll, I believe, won 3 straight. And they're playing better. The key for them is to play defense. And I know we say that for everybody, but they have had in the last handful of years, the commitment to defense was, when Harden was there and after that, trying to get buy-in to defense became a problem for Coach Silas and even before that. And now Udoka comes in and they started off slowly, but, holding teams under 100 points will give you a chance to win all the time. They can score. They're young and a little bit immature. Adding Van Vliet was important. They will put the ball in the basket. The key is their commitment to sustained commitment on a defensive end and contest shots. And the irony of it is one of the great coaches of defense and effort on the planet, even though he doesn't have to coach effort, is Kelvin Sampson for the for the Cougars basketball team, the college team. And we got him right here in town. So the defensive effort and contesting shots is something that if they can sustain, it will turn into something because Jabari Smith can 3-and-D and be up and, hit knock down a 3, go play defense on the other end. Jalen Green's got scoring ability. Şengün. They're pretty athletic. Now they just got to learn to sustain it and understand success, but they're playing better after their first, 2 or 3 game start.
Yeah, I want to put your kind of your former competitor athlete hat on here. If you're the Kings, where you had a great season a year ago, kind of had the breakthrough, it's still really early, but to be you lose a game, it happens, but to be embarrassed twice in a row when you play the same team feels really early to do a little soul searching. But what do you think is going on in the Kings camp right now?
Yeah, and I also, with that, a team that didn't win 30 games, so it can be debilitating for you if you let it. That comes into veteran leadership. A lot of times we rely, that's the coach's responsibility. Well, a lot of times on veteran teams, and they got a taste of incredible success last year, is to veterans in the locker room to say, this isn't going to fester. We're not letting this hang around. This is going to happen. Losing streaks happen. It becomes more pronounced 2 ways, at the end of the season and at the beginning of the season, because we're fresh and we want to know how they're coming out, especially after what Sacramento did last year. And then at the end of the season, because you don't want your season to end. So while it is early, there's a lot of basketball to be played. They got 2 choices. They can let it affect them to the point like a quarterback does when he throws an interception and you throw 2 more. Or you can come back and say, we got beat by a talented team, but it shouldn't be playing like that against us. What does it do to you? Does it light a fire under you, or do you go in the corner and wilt? I think the Sacramento Kings will respond because I don't think last year was the aberration where it's like, yeah, this is who they are. I think they're closer to
this year, I'm talking about the start, this is who they are. I think last year isn't an aberration. It's closer to who they really are. So, listen, I don't ever panic this soon about anything. I look at the Cincinnati Bengals. They were left for dead the first 3 or 4 weeks. Everybody had them done. Now they're as hot as any team. And it's the same with Sacramento. I think there's too many good players, and I think the support they're getting. They got beat by a team that was more ready to play, and when you don't score 100 points and they can shut you down, they're going to put you in a bad way. And Jalen Green played well, and they got great balance, did the Rockets. I wouldn't worry too much about the Kings, especially less than 10 games in. They're going to be okay, but you cannot let it fester. You got to be able to handle failure, yes, but you also got to be able to handle success. And last year told us they had success. Can they sustain it year 2? I think they can. The question is, how quickly do they get back being who they are?
Sean Salisbury joining us. So, Sean, want to get your opinion, your take on what a lot of people are reacting to your former school, USC. Caleb Williams, obviously an incredible talent. They had a great game against Washington, one of the games of the weekend. But the viral video of him, jumping up into the stands, being with his mother, you could see him getting very emotional, and it felt like that triggered people one of 2 ways. I'd love your opinion on seeing him that emotional on Saturday night.
You know what? For me, I'm trying to figure out why the anger or hatred to him that all of a sudden, and it's buddies of mine too, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I really don't care about that. I'm just trying to figure out the psychological aspect of why. Okay, as a guy, I'm a little old school, and I take that behind the door, make sure you're in private with your. Then I say, well, because somebody else would, does that mean that he should? I just don't know. Let's remove the field part from it, just off the field, what he did with his mother. I don't know what they're going through. Why am I going to say, and I saw a guy say, well, I can't draft him. There's no way. He's not going to be a player in the league. Oh, what a horrible leader. Why? Because he was crying with his mom and a paper in front of him. If he would have been smiling, he'd have been vilified for not caring. If he wouldn't have shown any emotion, well, does the guy care? So he cries, and he's over emotional. He's soft. Listen, I understand the tough guy mentality. It's football and macho, and there's going to be some. And the optics were a little strange to see. I get it. I get the optics, but for people to come on TV and radio, and I saw the social media, I can't draft him. A couple of my buddies that I'm going to get into because I go on their shows, I am going to be all over them. Oh, he can't lead a team. Well, for the last 2 years, he's been football's best player. So on the field, the guy makes every play. There's not a general manager in this league. Now, you may like somebody better as a talent, and that's okay. You may like Drake May. You may like Michael Penix. Fine. But there's not a GM in this league that's going to come to draft day and say, you know what, I can't draft him. He cried with his mom. Who thinks like that? So I'm not that. Listen, we should have been focused on Penix's his game, Caleb Williams' ability, and USC can't play defense. Well, they answered that by getting rid of Alex Grinch and going somewhere else. But I'm trying to understand. Now, let me ask you this: if Shedeur Sanders, I'm just trying to compare the narratives we have about how we feel. And if you don't like Caleb Williams because he's fingernail polish or he wants ownership in a team, fine. I'm just talking about this specific incident of crying because he's emotional over a loss. Okay, I don't think he blamed anybody. He's emotional. Great, he cares. But I'm just trying to figure out, if after Stanford came from behind and went 40 unanswered in Boulder, if Shedeur Sanders would have went to his pops afterwards and hugged him, Deion, and cried, because they got a great relationship and they love each other and it's important, and he cried because he left it all out on the field, what would the narrative be? Would we have said, man, look at this father-son moment, not coach-son, father-son? And I think we'd have probably said, man, they're turning things around. But a guy who's highly publicized, some don't like, plays like a monster on the field. He's the only reason SC's got a chance to win, and a good play caller in Lincoln Riley. Why does crying all of a sudden dictate soft can't lead my team? Some may think that, but you know what 3 touchdowns by September 20th of 2024 does? All that goes away. Say, oh, he can lead my team.
Exactly.
So it's just absurd the way we look at it. Oh, can't draft him first. I can guarantee you that when the draft comes around, that he may, if he doesn't go first, he ain't going third if somebody needs a quarterback. So I just don't understand how we're gonna beat a kid into the ground, whether you like him or not, or like his game or not, over an incident where he's crying with his mom. I don't know what goes on in his life, but I don't think crying with your mom dictates you're automatically soft because he looks pretty tough on the field to me, and that you're not going to have a good NFL career. I think it's lazy narrative, and quite frankly, I think it's stupid, and it just tells me that a lot of people are quite uninformed about how this position's supposed to be played.
Talking with Sean Salisbury here. Sean, your Raiders, the team you've got an affinity for. We knew they made the move. I didn't know they'd get immediate results. Maybe it's an impact to a little bit of the Giants. That shouldn't even matter. You change quarterbacks, change coaches, and it just looked like they were free, having fun, and they had a really good game. Is this a 1-week honeymoon, or is there a little bit more here with the Raiders?
Well, I think you're spot on. And first off, to start with the last part first, listen, they're going to go at a time when they're going to get their ass kicked. They just are, right? Even with Antonio, who I loved the energy. Remember, I've told you on this show, I told you I thought Josh McDaniels would not get through.
Yep.
He wouldn't be coaching, and Jimmy wouldn't be your starting quarterback in 2024. And it just happens. Sometimes interim coaches come quicker. If you do not get buy-in, excuse me, you can't win. I don't care how talented you are. You have to have buy-in. And they never bought in. And immediately, now it's one game, but they bought into a guy who brought a different energy. You're not walking on eggshells. It's not a abrasive approach. It's I know what you guys are going through, this thing together. It just looked different. And there was a different energy. And you could tell by their comments they want to play for him. And that's important. I'm not even talking about player empowerment. I'm just talking about not even coach and effort, just a different energy that says, okay, this guy makes me want to do things different for him. That's called buy-in. Is it going to last 8 straight games? No. They're going to get beat by somebody, and they're going to come down to earth, but it could last 3. It may last 5. They may go to the playoffs. Who knows? Because energy and buy-in are amazing. And then you get new offensive coordinator. Things just felt different. And it is 1 week. Just like Josh Dobbs, who had amazing. What he did in Minnesota last week was off the friggin' chart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you come down to earth. The key is how can you sustain it? What do you do next to handle that success and to stay in the minute, in the mode, in the present? I loved what Antonio did. They needed change. Now we'll see if they can. But I can tell you this, if buy-in matters, and it does, in my opinion, heavily, they'll play harder. And you shouldn't have to coach effort. I don't think Antonio is going to have to coach it because I think they're bought in. It's going to be fun to watch and see where they go from here. They're going to face a hell of a defense with the Jets next week, but an offense that you can actually tear apart because of the quarterback situation. I'm anxious to see how Antonio keeps that energy up. It's always easy the first time. Can you keep that energy up when you're down 21-3 in the third quarter and find a way to get back in and win? But I loved where they went. I'm a big Antonio fan, and I think they're headed in the right direction, but it is just one game.
All right, Sean, as we go, tell us again all the great things you're doing with your app and how people out here in Sacramento, really everywhere, can get involved.
Yeah, we got a lot of people. I mean, we're fortunate. We have every game covered with a Manning cast. We call it a media cast type thing, but we also have shows. It's the best fan engagement app where you guys finally get player empowerment. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Just go get the PSF app. It's free. Pro Sports Fans. And as the president of the company, I'm awfully proud of the hard work we've put in building a company. And we're making strides that I was way ahead of where I thought we were. And the next thing up is peer-to-peer betting on there. Wow. With all the shows and betting, and the guys, the optics and what you're seeing technology-wise are through the roof. And we got great talent, media casters doing it. Go get the PSF app. It's free. Tell me what you think about it. I think we're on to something game-changing and fan engagement at its finest. And we're great.
We're losing Sean just a bit at the end there. Thank you so much, Sean. That is the PSF app, Pro Sports Fan app. It's like a media cast, like you said, like a Manning cast too, with players and people out there, fans involved. That incredible stuff from Sean Salisbury. Really good perspective too on what he said about the Kings. I hope you got that part, and certainly on the Raiders as well. All right. We got more reaction to the Kings. Certainly we got 4 down territory. Who's hot, who's not. The busy show continues as we got much more straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location, is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best best service and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out, Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
For a business to thrive, there needs to be a constant stream of new customers. This happens through strong lead generation. Did you know that lead generation is one of the most important tools of any marketing campaign? Let us help you identify your target audience and market your products and services to them. To get started today, contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results today.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia. Guys, your promise is your word, right? You stick by it, you live by it. So does Revive Men's Health with our Revive Promise for low T and ED. The Revive Promise means your tests and lab work are free when you begin treatment, and our low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Yes, that's right. We stand behind our treatments and our results. That's our promise to you. Revive Men's Health has successfully helped thousands of men with low T, ED, and sexual health issues since 2011. If you're experiencing symptoms like chronic low energy, less drive, sleep issues, weight gain, poor performance, bad moods, or ED, you need Revive. Don't settle. Get affordable, guaranteed, custom low T and ED solutions with lasting results from Sacramento's favorite men's clinic. And remember, there are no extra bills when you begin treatment. All labs and tests are free, and your low T and ED treatments are money back guaranteed. Call Revive Men's Health Sacramento today to schedule your appointment. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Your Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Chris Verlotta with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings all-star De'Aaron Fox was out again last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starters scored only 41 points on the night without him. Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trailblazers Wednesday night. You can listen to Wednesday's game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's come back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Thanks again to Sean Salisbury joining us. Anything you've missed on the show, ton of Kings conversation, lots of feedback from you guys. You can go to Sactown Sports, and the show will be podcasted at the end of the show. Join us right now on YouTube. Good dialogue going on constantly in the show as well. In the chat, hit that thumbs up button while you're there. Right at the bottom, just a little thumbs up. You can see it. When you hit it, it says, I like this. We appreciate that. That helps us.
I like this.
You know what? I like this. So hit that thumbs up button while you're there. We really appreciate that. All of you that are there. I mean, just thank you. Thank you for being here. It's I know for you, I'll speak for myself. I know when the team that you like or love and you support and you're passionate about, when they win, it's more fun. I want to talk about my team. I want to hear about it. Right now it's not going well for the Sacramento Kings. And let's hear what Tim has to say. Tim, do you know what's going wrong with the Kings?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of an issue with who we brought back. I think we made a huge mistake bringing Barnes back. He's 0 rebounds last night. We should have brought in a guy like Brooks to help this team. I live out in Arizona now, and all the Suns fans laugh that we brought Barnes back. They think he's so bad, and I'm sure I'll hang up the phone and you'll defend him like everyone else does. He's atrocious, though.
Okay,
and he showed it in the playoffs last year. I don't understand why we bring him back.
All right, thank you. Well, I'm going to defend him like everyone else does. You said I would. No, I questioned Harrison, not the re-signing of Harrison Barnes. I questioned the way he played last night. I'm going back to what Sean Salisbury said. A lot of a night or nights like the last 2 nights have been to me. I always go to the players, and people will target coaches, and they're a part of it. But it's the people on the floor that can make the biggest impact. And Barnes is one of them. Barnes is one of the leaders. Yeah, he needed to make an impact on the game in whatever way he felt that was. He highlights rebounds. I don't think they lost because Harrison Barnes had 0 rebounds. Didn't help. But I don't like that he had 6 shot attempts. Where's the game that he had against Utah, or an impact? Or, okay, maybe he stopped Dylan Brooks or Jabari Smith, or like really cut off something else that Houston was doing if he wasn't scoring. But I just didn't feel his fingerprints on the game. It's easier to attach a name like Dylan Brooks to the Kings and say that would be a different. Me personally, not a Dylan Brooks fan. I'm not, and I'm talking less about the theatrics and the villain Brooks. I don't know. Not my guy for this team. And when people are like, we don't have enough dogs, I think when you're winning, it feels like you have the guys, right? I mean, it just, like, I think Malik Monk, there's an attitude and a presence to him. I think there can be with JaVale McGee. I think Sabonis has it. I think Fox has it. I think Davion has that. They didn't show it last night, or is it because they didn't win? Like, when you don't win, you target everything that's missing. And I'm not trying to say it in a positive way by any means. They're a mess right now, a collective mess. And tomorrow night, I said it before, it's not about the Blazers. It's about the Kings fixing whatever it is internally. And it can't just be as simple like, let's wait for De'Aaron to come back. He'll save the day. He will help a ton. But the game they played the last 2 games looks more like a team that's broken. And that's concerning. Can't let it fester. Can't let it spill into a long streak. We'll all feel better if they win tomorrow. But you can't just, we'll show up and win because we're at home and we're playing Portland. That can't be anybody's attitude with the Kings. They've got to know what is wrong and how to fix it. All right, more on that coming up. Right now, let's get a little 4 down territory. Christopher Laud, what you got?
Who starts another game at quarterback in the NFL first? Aaron Rodgers or Jimmy Garoppolo?
James G? Or Aaron Rodgers? Do you see Aaron Rodgers throwing? He's just showing off and flexing now. Like,
throwing 50-yard strikes
on a 3-step drop. Look, Achilles, modern medicine. I don't need it. Jimmy G's got the advantage. He's literally on a team and is healthy and can play, but he's benched. Even with the advantage, I'm going to say it's Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers starts a game at QB in the NFL before Jimmy G does again. All right, let's go to second down.
Who is your midseason MVP?
Midseason NFL MVP at this point. I think you got to look at people like, exactly, Lamar Jackson. I still think, Mahomes and Josh Allen, those teams don't function as well without them. Jalen Hurts. I still like what McCaffrey has done, too. But I guess at this point, based on record, based on what he means to the team, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. Third down.
Kyler Murray is set to return this week for the Cardinals. When healthy, where does he rank on your QB list?
All right, there's a few quarterbacks that change all the time. He would be one of them. Like, there's certain years when he was flirting with the MVP, he felt like a top 10 guy. Oh, he's a future. You want him. He hasn't looked the same. There's guys that consistently stay up near the top, and that's what makes them legends. So we backtrack the last 10 years or so. Brady always in the top 10. Manning, Breeze, Rodgers, they were always there. Mahomes. But then you get people that, Matt Ryan won an MVP and he vaults in there. Roethlisberger, Eli Manning. I mean, different people could jump in based on individual years they have. Derek Carr had a great year. Boom, there he is in the top 10. But I think he's one of the guys that fluctuates. So the consistent guy seemingly right now, still Rodgers, still Mahomes. I would say Lamar Jackson stays up there. Hurts seemingly for the last couple of years. But it's fluid, and so without seeing him, his team isn't very good around him. I would have him outside the top 10, but probably around 13 to 15 for Kyler Murray when fully healthy. All right, let's go to fourth round.
Do you really believe that Antonio Pierce has a real chance to get the permanent head coaching job for the Raiders?
Now, they've said this, and I think it's really going to be contingent, obviously, on how they play. But when you change GMs, when you change head coach, and you've got, like, the pool of people they were picking from was basically an assistant coach, and that was Antonio Pierce. When the entire pool is open, it's probably smart to look at everybody. Now, I think this is all going to be on how they perform the rest of the year. You look at a guy like Jeff Saturday that shocked everyone last year when the Colts named him and they won their first game against the Raiders. It's like, well, he's got a real chance to keep this job. I think they won one other game, and, yeah, he was out and he's back on ESPN, and that's fine. That's not even a judgment on him. But I think Pierce is going to have to really, really impress. I think already in 1 week, that honeymoon week was great. Seems to have the buy-in from the players, but that could change quickly. That team seems like they're in a fragile spot, and if the Jets punk them, I think we'll feel completely different about the Raiders situation. All right, when we come back, we got to recap our 3 in the key. How did we do? I can only imagine not very well. We'll talk about who's hot and who's not, and more reaction from all of you on the mess that is right now, the Sacramento Kings. We've got that coming up on Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
At Harbor Freight, we think you shouldn't have to break the bank to get great tools. Because we know that for some of you, tools are part of the job. And for others, they're just the beginning of making, fixing, restoring, and building. That's why we make high-quality tools that are priced affordably, because we love being the start of all your working, making, fixing, restoring, and building. Whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon. This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with Unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible phone purchase with activation on Unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
Team, it's snowing again tomorrow.
They're predicting 2 to 3 feet.
'Tis the overtime season for Frank Snowplows.
Kelly, can you take another shift?
Let it snow. Quality driver applicants.
Hey guys, know anybody else with a D license?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Over the last 5 years, there's been a 25% increase in reported hate crimes. A hate crime not only harms the victim, but strikes fear into their entire community. Our community. The FBI is committed to combating hate crime and seeking justice. We're here to help. If you have been a victim or witness to a hate crime, dial 1-800-CALL-FBI or submit a tip at tips.fbi.gov. Protecting our communities together. Dial 1-800-CALL-FBI to report hate crimes. Sponsored by the FBI. Aired by California Broadcasters.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot.
And what's not?
It's not good.
Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
All right, it is that time to find out who's hot and who's not. Christopher Law, do you have an answer for us for that? On who is hot and who is not? Let's start with who's hot.
That would be Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, another trip dub.
Not only was it a trip dub, it was his 108th career triple-double on Monday. That passes LeBron James and Jason Kidd as the 4th most in NBA history.
And he'll probably get another 25 of them this year. He's incredible.
If he tries.
Yeah. Do we not appreciate him enough?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he really cares either.
He does not care. He is not interested in whether or not we care. Sabonis had a triple single. Not reported.
Congratulations.
Wow. Not even giving him the same kind of love. All right. Who's not?
The Kings.
Oh, why? What do you have? Do you have any facts behind that?
They've lost 2 in a row.
Okay.
They have not scored over 100 points in those 2 losses, and they just looked like garbage last night.
I need more details.
And their starters only scored 40 points last night. What is De'Aaron averaging?
I don't know, but is he the MVP of the league?
Yes.
Because clearly without him, this team is no good. What's the latest on our poll?
What's going to be bad is if they lose again, they're going to be fans of other teams out there. Well, the Kings are looking good. What can we get for De'Aaron?
I know. I hit the close poll tab, Chris. Do you have the latest on our poll question?
Hopefully you didn't end the poll.
I don't, or did I?
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Right now, out before first half, fans 25%. Fans last night's game out at halftime 20%. Out before the fourth quarter 21%. Never left. I love punishment 33%.
So still the leader. That does surprise me. Chris put the poll question out there. It's on our YouTube, Sactown Sports YouTube page. Register your vote. So most of you, I say most, the more, it's not an overwhelming majority, watch the entirety of the game. That does surprise me. So text us. Let us know how long you were in. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. Or on our YouTube chat. While you're there, please hit that thumbs up button. We greatly appreciate that. It was a mess. A hot mess for the Sacramento Kings. Let's get a little bit more from Mike Brown.
I got to evaluate some things, so in this business, you always have to have a sense of urgency, but you have to believe in what you do whenever you make any type of change or anytime you do this instead of that. And so I know for me, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna watch the film, and if I feel the same way after the film, then I got to make sure I keep trying to put 5 guys out there that are going to do what we ask, which is to play together and play the right way while playing fast and bringing a sense of physicality. So the sense of urgency is there. You don't ever want to get too far behind in this league. But the neat part about it, there's a lot of basketball left. And as crazy as it sounds, like I said earlier, we're facing some adversity, and I'm intrigued by it because I want to see how we can handle it. I want to see if we have the mentality and fortitude to be able to handle what's in front of us.
I mean, my just life experience teaches me, look, there's something to be made out of everything, right? Or you can. And I do feel and agree with some of the things that Coach Brown is saying. Look, if you to your core believe you've got the personnel to do it, and the Kings aren't making it, to my knowledge, making a trade today. This is your roster. Now, you could tweak it. You could change what Mike Brown has control over is who plays, how many minutes, what groupings are out there together. That's something I'm sure he's evaluating as we speak. But if you believe your core principles are right, and you've got buy-in from your team, and you've got talent, this can be fixed. It's just you're in a spot right now, what we've all seen for the last 2 games specifically, it feels about as broken as we've seen. And I think it feels, to me, I'll speak for myself, it feels more broken partially because we've seen what they can look like, what the success has looked like, what maybe expectations, right or wrong. And again, I'm not going off of yours or mine expectations. I'm going off of theirs. And this is a group that has said the words championship, that is wanting to be competitive for championships for a couple of years, or as many as they can. I mean, it's every organization's goals. But after you have the bit of success and you see where they made it to, you believe you can do it. So there's a lot of the elements that are back. Like we had a previous caller that puts this on. It's because they re-signed Harrison Barnes. It's not one thing. But what is the short-term fix? Tomorrow night's fix, Friday night's fix, next week's fix. It can turn around quickly. The scary part is it can also snowball probably even faster. And 1 game, no need to panic. 2 games, I'm not in panic mode. I'm in very concerned mode with what I've watched. And it's not that they miss shots. It's the shots they're getting. It's not that they didn't play good enough defense. It's the defense, the shots they gave up, they allowed. It's the lack of what seemed to be fight or visual concern with what was happening. They could all be mad. They could be. I don't know that I don't need to see somebody punch somebody. I don't need to see that. But it looked like a group that didn't know what was happening to them. That was the optic. It's what I had from watching in a studio. Like, I don't know what's happening. No, we're not enjoying this. I just don't know how to stop it. Maybe that's true. And maybe it's as simple as getting out of Houston, getting a new opponent, getting home, and playing a new game, and it's just better. Can't hope for that. You've got to be able to figure out what's going on internally and fix it. All right, how did we do on our 3 in the key predictions from yesterday with Dave, myself, and Chris? Well, let's find out. Let's recap our 3 in the key. Dunk it. All right, we asked this question. what would be, because we were kind of looking at the Kings only having a 1-point lead the other night. We had asked for the Kings' largest lead in the first match of this game, and we all failed epically on that. We probably did the same here. Chris, I don't know if you remember, we asked what would be the Rockets' largest lead.
I'm pretty sure I said 40.
Let's see. Dave said 2. I said 8. Chris, you said 40 minus 34. Good 6.
I don't remember
Close.
that minus 34 part. Okay. You wrote it down.
I wrote it down. Could have been wrong. We'll have to go back, check the podcast. So technically, I was the closest, but I was only 32 off. That was terrible. Rockets led by 40. Then we asked which Kings would be in double figures. Kings didn't have very many double figure guys in the first matchup. So we're like, tonight's a new night. It's going to be better.
Things are getting better.
Things are getting better. Dave said Sabonis, Murray, Barnes, Monk, and Herder. He had 5 guys in double figures. The Kings had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in double figures. Sabonis wasn't one of them. Keegan was one of them. Barnes wasn't one of them. Monk wasn't one of them. But Herder was. So Dave got 2 of his 5 correct. I said Sabonis, Murray, Barnes, Monk, McGee, Duarte, Vezenkov. I said 7. Of my 7, JaVale McGee made it. And
Murray?
2 of 7. Chris, you said Sabonis, Murray, Barnes, Monk, Herder, Mitchell, and Sasha. So you also said 7, and you had to make it with Murray. Oh, wait, you might have only had 1. Yeah.
Oh.
The double figure scores last night. Murray, Herder, Colby Jones.
Wait, I said Herder.
Okay, you had 2. Correct. You had 2. I had 2. Dave had 2. The double figure scores were Murray, Herder, JaVale McGee, Colby Jones, and the leading scorer, Keon Ellis.
I wanted to say Keon Ellis.
Yes. Just like you wanted to say 40. Lastly, we said random stats, something weird, something different that would happen. Dave said it would be a career high for Sasha Vezenkov. For Mr. Vezenkov. He had 2 points. I said, which made Chris Verlaud very angry,
because I was going to take it,
that Domantas Sabonis would get a triple. Oh, I said double? Yeah, I said double. He had a triple single, 8 points, 8 boards, 5 assists. I was way off.
And this is where I'm way off.
And Chris said Keegan Murray would have a combined 30 points, or 30 with points, rebounds, and assists. Keegan had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist for 18. We need to regroup on our 3 in the key for tomorrow. All right, let's get one more comment from the coach before we break for this hour and where this team is right now.
I always have a 24-hour rule after something, especially like this. And so I'm going to go watch, I'm going to sleep on it, watch this film. And if you earn a chance to play, I got to play you. There's nobody's position on this team is sacred. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously you got Fox, you got Domas, who have a longer leash probably than everybody else. But everybody gets paid great money. Everybody gets paid to perform. And these last 2 games, now the Rockets had something to do with it. So I give Ime Udoka, his staff, and the team a lot of credit. But we have to play the way that we're capable of playing without letting it impact us spiritually. And I'm not seeing that right now.
That's the challenge ahead of the Kings. Yeah, they all get paid. They all get paid very well. It's a performance-based league, and I don't think it could just be guaranteed that the 5 that are out there start, or the 5 that have been, guaranteed bench minutes or whatever it might be. At this point, it feels like with how broken it is the last 2 games that you got to earn those minutes. And it seems like that's the approach Mike Brown is going to take. All right, we got 1 hour to go. Still coming up in our final hour. We'll end it with crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. We'll get another look at Kings and Rockets one more time. When we come back, though, Niners at 9. We'll look at the top 5, bottom 5 after another week of the NFL And do the Niners appear in our latest top 5 or bottom 5? You know they're not in the bottom 5, but do they appear in the top 5? We'll explain next.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Kings basketball is back. Coming off an exhilarating playoff run last season, you don't want to miss seeing this team in action. Be there when De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition Sasha Vezenkov, and the Beam team take the court at Golden One Center. Plus, catch the all-new NBA in-season tournament games against the Thunder on November 10th and the Warriors on November 28th. Tickets for games this season start at just $18. So head to kings.com/tickets and together, let's bring the roar.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your Auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Lott with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings All-Star De'Aaron Fox is out again with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starter scored only 41 points in his absence. The Kings will come back home, where they will host the Portland Trailblazers tomorrow night. You can listen to the game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during a team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes a medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are the headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
71-42 early in this third quarter. Here's a drive to the basket, blowing by Keegan Murray for Jalen Green, and it's 73-42. Well, my guys out at the flagship station, I think, hit it right on the head. This is not basically a game that you're trying to win. You're trying to salvage some pride. You're trying to show some professional spirit.
Pride not salvaged. Didn't get any better, got worse. In fact, got to as much as 40. Kings end up losing. Final score yesterday, 122-97. We'll have one final segment on the Kings. Got to put that game to rest here. Coming up in our next segment, it is time for Niners at 9. And the 49ers coming off a bye week this last week, but they did have practice yesterday, or kind of had some guys back together after having the weekend off. And we finally got a chance to hear from Chase Young, the newest Niner, traded for him. Really excited about what the Buckeye bookends now as 49ers can do. Here was a Chase Young talking about his former team.
I know who I am. I'm a competitor. So, I mean, I'm going to compete. I don't know what they're doing over there. That's over my head. I'm just going to be Chase Young, and I'm going to compete to the best I can.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he can do to that defensive line. Look, the Niners, at this point, losing 3 in a row feels totally different, doesn't it, than what the Kings are going through, right? I mean, the Niners have been in a tough way. We know – I don't know if they're complete parallels here. I think there's legitimate thought that the San Francisco 49ers, and warranted thought, that they could win the Super Bowl. I think they're a Super Bowl caliber team. I really think they could win it. Whereas the Kings have goals of being in the championship conversation as a threat in the West and all those things. And those goals should be the goals that they have, and not just the saying that every team should think that, but I don't think they believe it's far from reality. Now, both teams are going through losing streaks, but I'll just ask you, who do you have more faith in getting it right sooner? And this isn't even recency bias. I mean, we just saw the Kings lose 2 games in a horrific way. But this early in the season, it feels like even when the Kings have won, and I'm going back to the preseason, it just doesn't look to me like they've been as sharp, as convincing of what we saw in a good chunk of the season last year, where the 49ers in their wins, some of their wins, like the Cowboy win, the first performance of the first, about 26 minutes of the year against the Steelers, it was like, my goodness, how sharp does this team look? They're incredible. So they've shown glimpses of that. They're in a tough way trying to get out, coming off the bye week, where the Kings, I would like to see more of those really strong performances to build that belief, like, okay, that's the team that we think they can be. And they've not shown that nearly enough. All right, so let's get to our Niners at 9 here, and what we're going to do today on Niners at 9 normally. And Carmichael Dave out today. If those of you joining us late, unfortunately, he is out. He, as Dave has said very publicly before, deals with migraines. It's a pretty vicious thing, and hopefully he'll be back with us tomorrow. And all jokes aside, and I saw plenty of the texts and messages earlier, oh, the Kings did this to him. They might have. They got a lot of people sick.
Didn't help.
Yeah, did not help. Did not ease the mind, did not ease the night's sleep, did not ease whatever triggers these things. Certainly didn't help with the Kings' performance last night. But we'll hopefully have him back tomorrow. Also tomorrow on the show, we'll visit with at Niners at 9 with Emil Fergoso. Katie Christensen will join us at 8 o'clock, Kings TV analyst, for her weekly appearance, and kind of get more of her breakdown. I know she was, I wouldn't even say try to be optimistic. I think she was saying last night too, when hearing her, that look, teams will go through this. They do have to go through this. And can this be something later that is turned into a positive? It's really tough to see that now. I can't see it now. Doesn't mean it can't be there. We've seen those situations happen before. And earlier in the show, I gave you the example of when the Kings had their losing streaks a year ago. They did do a good job of responding. It's just that it felt like the losing streaks were a little bit different than what we've just seen over these 3 games, right? The Warrior one was deemed more acceptable, though it hurt, tired of losing to them. But the last two in Houston, just a tough watch. No other way to say it. So today on Niners at 9, we're looking at, and what we usually do in the NFL on a Tuesday is top 5, bottom 5 from around the NFL. So, Chris, if you've got a little NFL music, we will take it here as I'll give you the bottom 5 teams on my ranking after we finished another week of football last night with the Jets and Chargers. Chargers winning that one. So from 28 to 32, the 5th worst team, according to me on my list and my power rankings after this week, I'm going to put the Chicago Bears. The Bears. I have them at 28. They've been disappointing. They've had some injuries at quarterback, but even when healthy, it's been a tough year for Chicago. They're 2-7, lost their last 2 games. Not a big fan of what Chicago is doing. At 29, I'm going with the New England Patriots, also 2-7. They've got a worse point differential. They've got a legendary coach, but what else? They used to have an incredible defense. That's not the same. Lost to the Commanders this week. Just not feeling the Patriots. Put them at 29. At number 30, and maybe dropping even quicker, also at 2-7, the New York Football Giants. Unfortunate injury to Daniel Jones, but just a brutal performance in Vegas against the Raiders. Totally worked. Now, the Raiders were a spirited team, new lease on life, but the Giants didn't put up a fight. They dropped to the 3rd worst team at 30. Number 31, this one's just more of a reflection on record. I've actually moved them up a spot. The Carolina Panthers. They did lose, but I feel like they're competing a little bit more now and consistently around in games a little bit better. And at 1-7, not great, but I'm putting them at 31. And dead last at 32, the Arizona Cardinals. We'll see if Kyler Murray can help them, but they're 1-8. They were competing that first 4 or 5 weeks. They had a great win against the Cowboys, but the last couple weeks they just haven't been as competitive, as threatening, and the season that was predicted to be for the Cardinals is happening right in front of our eyes. All right, so then we go to the top 5. Can the 49ers crack the top 5 without playing? Well, I think you'll get the answer pretty quickly at number 5. I have a team that defeated the 49ers, and they're suddenly hot, and they look like a completely different team. And technically, they're tied for last in their division, technically, but it's the best division in football right now. I had the Cincinnati Bengals, 5-3, the way they played, who they've defeated, wins against the Niners, wins against the Bills, the way they're playing. They've won 4 in a row, 5-3. Look out for them. They're on the rise. I put the Bengals at 5, and because they beat the Niners, they also knocked the Niners out of the top 5. At number 4, though I think if they played, I like the Niners' chances against the Lions, but I'm going to give the Lions their respect at 6-2. They've got some good wins this year. I put them at number 4. At number 3, may have moved up had they been a better second half, but the Chiefs went to Germany, built a 21-0 lead on the Dolphins, hung on to win 21-14. Still a really good team as long as you have Mahomes. They're coming off a loss 2 weeks ago. Their offense hasn't been as sharp, but I'm going to put them at number 3. At number 2, and on the climb as well, the Baltimore Ravens, dismantling of Seattle this last week. They've won 3 or 4 in a row. They're 7-2, and I put them at number 2, and I will put the NFL's best record, the Philadelphia Eagles, at number 1, as they currently are 8-1. I have them in the top 5. So the bottom 5, Bears, Patriots, Giants, Panthers, Cardinals. Top 5, just missing are the 49ers, but I got the Bengals 5, Lions 4, Chiefs 3, Ravens 2, and the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly, number 1. By the way, listening to the Drive Guys yesterday, I heard Kyle Draper sing the Philadelphia Eagles song. Whitey kind of put him up to it. I didn't think he would do it. He did it. Great job, Kyle, on that. And his Eagles are 8-1. All right, that's Niners at 9. When we come back, one last look at the Kings and the Rockets, because we love torture. We'll do that next.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I always knew that I was going to join the military.
My grandfather pulled out his own military uniform and actually let me put it on.
The greatest thing you could ever do in your life is to change and impact the world around you.
Anybody that has ever served in the military has that sense of serving others.
I wanted to keep the people of the United States safe.
Being a veteran comes with a responsibility.
My role is being a protector.
We're born a proud country. We need to keep it that way. Boot Barn.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Duarte eludes a defender, drives into traffic, draws a crowd, kicks it out. 3 on the way to beat the buzzer is good. Knocked down by Keon Ellis. Keon Ellis has indicated, in the last couple of years, he is a capable deep perimeter scoring threat. He has a very nice touch. Gets his second triple of the evening. Here's Jordan Ford. He'll try a teardrop runner in the lane. That's good from about the dotted line. 120 to 95. Got a minute and 15 left in this one.
Didn't think we'd be playing Keon Ellis and Jordan Ford highlights, did you?
I actually thought we did. We were.
Yeah. Well,
I thought the Kings were just going to blow out the Rockets and
end with those two guys capping the nice Sunday,
yes.
right? Or the nice icing on the cake right there. They played. That was the best quarter for the Kings, 37-25 in the fourth.
Now that I think about it, if you didn't watch the game and you heard that,
just hopping in your car right now,
just hopping like, oh man, the Kings took care of business.
Yeah, nice fourth quarter. 37.
Keon Ellis got into the game.
Scored
That's cool.
15. Man, good work, Kings. This is how you respond after you lose to a team by 18. They're blowing kisses. They're mocking you, and back to 500. What a fragile nature that is, too. Like, honestly, if that was the show we were doing today, it was like, I don't know what happened Saturday, but glad that's over because Monday was much better. They're 500. They're coming home. They did this without De'Aaron Fox. It is that much of a difference, Chris.
It's just a blip.
It was just a blip. Look, they only lost by 1 to Clay and the Warriors. Like, if they had De'Aaron, they would have won that game. And all they've lost to is the Warriors. And then I don't know what happened in that Rockets game, but they got it right on Monday and they figured it out. That would have been a lot more enjoyable, a lot more maybe realistic for some. I did think you go into games thinking, all right, how's it going to go? I did think the Kings would win. I did. And I was about as certain as I could be that they would respond. And, you can, it's tough to imagine a scenario in my mind because going into the night, I felt like the Kings were a better team than Houston. I'm not the only one thinking that. I still think they might be, but Houston was impressive. I'll give them that. But it was hard to imagine a scenario where, like, if the Kings were locked in, dialed in, played well, played hard, that they would lose. Because if you think you're the better team, that's kind of how I measure games. Like, look, I just go strictly if everybody's healthy. In this case, we know Fox isn't playing, but they could win that game in Houston without Fox. So if the Kings played their best, the Rockets played their best, who are you picking? I would have picked the Kings. Rockets played well. Kings certainly did not, and that's the problem. That's what's concerning. You do have bad games. When you start to stack them, remember that was the theme, I think, 2 years ago, stacking wins. Well, you can stack losses too. And stacking losses is never enjoyable, but how do you lose? Are you competitive? Do you have a chance to win? What have coaches been saying forever in any sport? And you're on the road, get to the fourth quarter, have a chance to win. Steal the game, whatever, have a chance to win. It was over. There was zero chance to win. In fact, let me do the quick numbers here. 67
Come on, Francesca.
97. Yeah. I was wondering if the Rockets even had to score in the fourth quarter to win. They did. They had to score 1. Kings were down 37 going into the fourth. Scored 37, their best quarter by far. Rockets obviously scored 25. They win with ease. So what's next? Okay, what's next? Well, for the Kings, obviously the next game is tomorrow night. But a lot of times people go, well, gosh, I hope they have practice. You know, they got to look at film. Sure. I mean, they could do all those things, but they've really got to do some searching internally, each player, coaching staff on minutes, rotation, and all that. And it's really a balance of trying to figure out the why of what happened with also not dwelling on it, because nobody enjoyed what happened. You don't want to be lose your confidence and stay stuck in the mud and just like, well, it's going to be a long year. Because, and I think Sean Salisbury said it really well early in the show, like winning and losing streaks are really emphasized at the very beginning and at the end of the year. And we're at the very beginning. And when you've got an opinion and a belief and a thought on a team, you know, you've probably seen, if you're like me and you follow a lot of stuff from different people, I had seen projections of people that predicted the Kings to miss the postseason. I saw stuff on TV where the biggest threat to the Denver Nuggets are the Sacramento Kings. That's a pretty wide variety, right? And that's what I said earlier. I think the Kings have the ability and the talent, if things go right in a very difficult Western Conference, to honestly finish as high as number 1. If everything went right, I think you could clearly make that case. Last year, a lot of things went right. They finished 3rd, and that was even with some bumps along the way. But I also think you can't just be as naive to think, well, look, they made the playoffs a year ago. They've got a great coach. They've got good talent. They got a couple of all-stars, young up-and-coming players. All the things that you want to project on them. Keegan to make the jump. The depth is better than ever. They've got all this experience. I mean, it's not a matter of if they make the play. What seed? Well, it's not given to you. You've got to earn it. You've got to deserve it. They did last year. They earned it. They played great with bumps along the way, and you hope this is all that is. But I think what's really concerning is it doesn't look like the Kings team that we saw last year. Like if the Rockets beat them 122 to 116, and it's like, man, Kings had 30 assists, didn't make enough key plays, missed some free throws, but look, the DNA of the team was there. Well, we're seeing a team that's struggling to get their best looks. 22 assists is below their norm. You want, when your best player is out in De'Aaron Fox, your veterans, your reliable players to be reliable. I didn't think Harrison Barnes was reliable at all. I didn't think Domantas Sabonis was reliable at all. Coach Brown said it earlier about how he liked the way the back end of the bench played. That's the very back end of the bench. And credit to them. Rockets game was over, but that group didn't fall into the trap. They did their best. They played better, got better results. And I don't think it's a situation where that group needs to start. It's not that drastic, but you know, the leash should be shorter on Davion, on Herter, on Keegan, Sabonis, and Barnes. If Malik Monk's playing his best, play him. If McGee's the best center at the time, play him. If it's Colby Jones or Duarte or whoever it might be, play him. Sasha. Or if the starters are rolling, play him. They need to find a way to win. They need to, again, do the combination of trying to forget what happened and not let it hang on, but also figure out why it happened and carry that with it to fix it, to be better as soon as tomorrow night against the Portland Trail Blazers, because there's another big road trip coming up. There's some tough games coming up, and you don't want to have it snowball. That was encouraging to see De'Aaron warming up a little bit. Maybe he gives it a go tomorrow. I don't want him personally to feel any sort of pressure that, look, what the team's done without me, 0-3. They need me. They do, but you've got to be right. They need you for when what they hope matters more. Games in April and in May if they're so fortunate. So long season to go. They're in a really bad way right now, and it's really, really concerning. And so we'll see what the next response is, because their first chance at that response game this year, they failed. They failed miserably last night, and that was tough to watch. 122-97. All right, speaking of things to watch, not as much to watch tonight by the NBA standards, by design. We'll discuss that. Also, the All-Star game coming to Northern California. Not here, but San Francisco. We'll discuss that and a few more things next on Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Tuesday. You'll need the shades and the jacket. A cooler start out there this morning. Everybody feels that. So we head through the afternoon, mostly sunny skies. Today, a dry day with highs mid to upper 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
ABC tomorrow.
It's country music's biggest night.
The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and Kay Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney, Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton, Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town, and more.
The best in country music!
Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host
The CMA Awards live.
tomorrow, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream next day on Hulu.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Christopher Ladd with your Sactown Sports headlines. Sacramento Kings were once again blown out by the Houston Rockets, 122-97. Kings all-star De'Aaron Fox was out last night with a sprained ankle, and the Kings starters scored only 41 points on the night in his absence. Kings will come back home where they will host the Portland Trailblazers Wednesday night. You can listen to the game right here on Sactown Sports. LeBron James said yesterday that his son, Bronny James, who suffered a cardiac arrest during the team workout with USC in July, is going in the right direction to return to the basketball team. If Bronny passes the medical examination later this month, he will return to practice and could play for the first time this season. Reminder, all guests come to you via the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Those are your headlines. Now let's get back to the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
It's time to go. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Really want to thank all of you out there for listening today and participating, whether it's on our YouTube chat. A lot of you in there today. A lot of you on the text line at 339-1140. Really appreciate that. A tougher day to do that, obviously, after the Kings lose and the way they lost the last couple of games. So appreciate you being in it for the long haul. We're going to be here no matter what. It's more fun for us. I can be honest with you when they win. I want them to win. But got to fix it. Got to fix it fast as the Kings play the Blazers tomorrow night. All right. As we get started here for our final couple of segments, again, crosstalk coming up with Styles and Watkins in a few minutes. Your chance right now, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Either number, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140, to get a pair of tickets to Creed. Boy, Dave was really trying to break all the rules yesterday, wasn't he? He really was, as Sactown Sports is teaming up with Live Nation to take you higher. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, and we're looking for caller number 2. The second caller to win a pair of tickets to experience Creed live in Wheatland next September 1st, 2024. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. So your chance for a pair of tickets to Creed, all you have to be is caller number 2, 1-800-920-1140, 1-800-920-1140, or 916-339-1140. There you go. Good luck. Yesterday we had a winner that was very, very excited, and I think Dave was excited because they proved their love for Creed. Hopefully we'll have Dave back with us tomorrow. Jason Ross here, Christopher Lott as well. Like we said, we'll have Styles and Watkins here in just a moment. All of you chiming in right now, we appreciate all of you trying to win those Kings Creed tickets, I should say, and Chris will take care of that in a moment. As far as what to watch today, usually that's what we have in this segment. Maybe you can get caught up on some other shows. Will be my guess to you. There's no NFL tonight. Let me see the NHL scoreboard. There's probably some NHL if you care about that. We got a full slate of NHL games. The Sharks, man. Northern California's, for the better part of 25 to 30 years, most consistent team has been the San Jose Sharks. It has been epically bad. I mean, just a colossal fail of a year for them. So you can check them out if you maybe want to feel better about the Kings. Maybe that'll do it. I think there's some more college basketball tonight, but no NBA. The NBA has kind of made it a rule on election day the last couple of years. They just don't play. They want in specific cities for players to help represent that, get out. I don't feel in California, certainly in Sacramento, it's a big voting window time, but this year, specifically this Tuesday, November 7th. But in other parts, the league has said, nope, we are not playing basketball today. So that's going to set us up with a full slate of games tomorrow, including the Blazers and Kings. So tonight, maybe get caught up on a few other shows, whatever that might. Maybe it's my time finally, and don't mock me for this, but to catch up on Ted Lasso. When Bob Gerald was in, he's like, look, I can't believe you haven't watched Ted Lasso. Jay Mars used to poke fun at me for that. The saying, you of all people would love Ted Lasso. That has been told to me many times. I think that is a compliment.
I'm sorry, what is happening?
I know you were answering that phone call. We have a winner, correct?
Correct. Doug.
Doug. Congrats, Doug. The phrase has been told to me this exact way, Chris, and you might have even been one to tell me it this way. You of all people would love Ted Lasso. That's what has been told to me.
I didn't think I said you of all people.
But that's how it's literally been told to me like 3 or 4 times.
Because it's like, you love Jason Sudeikis.
I do.
You're not a negative person. You're
it's
like
a comedy,
positivity.
but it's also like heartwarming,
Yes.
right? Like they said, this is like for you. And that's what I was told about The Office. And then I'm like, this show's great. I haven't watched all of them.
You're a weird one to where you just like catch it, right?
Yeah, I have not watched The Office in order by any means. So, like, I remember talking to you and Damien, all of a sudden I go, wait, why is James Spader on the show? Like, because I'll check, like, Idris Elba? Like, what happened? And so I'll just check it. And, like, a lot of the main characters are all there. And different times I'm like, wait, he runs things now? Yeah, I'm out. I just, because it's all in reruns. And I haven't started it from the beginning. And so I've watched a lot of the same episodes multiple times, but I have not watched the whole run of The Office. But I'm still a little confused by it, but I enjoy it every time.
Yeah, I would say.
But you love Ted Lasso.
The last season was kind of eh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The third season, the final one, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they're doing an offshoot?
I think they could. I think they set it up to where they could if they want to.
Okay.
The thing about it is, and I've heard this complaint from people, just like, oh man, this is just so like saccharine, just too sweet, too nice. It doesn't. But I think because like when it came out was like the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things of just having
We
something
needed it.
positive
Yeah.
was just a relief to have. But I think so. I always give people that kind of frame of reference. Like, don't get, if you're going into this thinking like, oh, it's like Always Sunny or just like every comedy that we like, even, there's like dark moments of in The Office. There are kind of dark moments in Ted Lasso, but everything's like wants to be positive, uplifting type of thing.
Yeah, Jess on our YouTube says, I didn't think I would like Ted Lasso either, but I cried every episode. So
yeah, there are moments that really get you.
Yeah, and I like those shows. Like if they bring it all together. I've told you, I've said this many times. One of my favorite shows ever. I think it's beautifully written. It's funny, but it's emotional. It gets you. Is Modern Family. It's so well done. I mean,
you think you're thinking. I think I'm crazy. Do you know what that's a lot like?
What?
Last Man on Earth.
Okay, and I didn't watch that. I didn't give that. I know you're a huge fan of Will Forte.
It's a weird Will Forte show, but there are like episodes where you don't even laugh at all, and it's just like, oh man, this is really serious and like heartwarming and touching. And then there's other moments where it's just
hilarious,
absolutely just stupid and goofy and doesn't make sense. It's that one. I would say people are going to really hate this. I like Last Man on Earth more than Ted Lasso.
Okay, and did that get 2 seasons?
Really? 2 or 3? 3.
Wow. Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Because they always open with like a character, because there's very little people on Earth. There's like a huge there was a pandemic that happened and a bunch of people died.
That's not believable.
And so like each season would open with like this star that they wouldn't even like promote, like this person's going to be on there, and you're like, whoa, he's on this show, and then die immediately.
Yeah. Well, I was saying, so I know you were taking the call for our winner there for Doug to win the Creed tickets, but there's no NBA tonight. There's really nothing to watch, so catch up on some shows. Is there something you're currently watching right now that you would recommend?
I just finished The Fall of the House of Usher, which is absolutely incredible on Netflix.
Okay.
It's creepy Gothic movie. It's like a retelling of the Edgar Allan Poe stories.
Wow. Okay.
So it's so good.
That does not sound like something I would enjoy.
No, I don't think you'd.
Yeah. I mean, it might be good, but it's just not my wheelhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is dark.
Which is your wheelhouse.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what else have I been watching. Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of right now.
Okay. There's always something. That's what's amazing about what the entertainment options we have. A couple of other NBA notes. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday afternoon. It was announced that 25 years ago was the All-Star game in San Francisco, or in Oakland at Oracle at that point. It's coming back to San Francisco, to the Chase Center. The 2025 All-Star game will be there.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah.
So happy for the Warriors franchise.
Direct quote from Chris Verlaud. With sincerity, I can feel it that you really mean that. Yeah. So hooray. Hooray for them. I have a current NBA power rankings. This is from CBS Sports. So this is after last night. Chris, 1 through 30 teams. Where do you think our beloved Sacramento Kings rank?
I'm going to guess 22.
Okay. And I would have bet like a week ago, I don't know, 14, top 10. Well, I'm going to work my way from the bottom to start saving some teams. Detroit at 30. Wizards, 29. Grizzlies, who got their first win, 28. Utah Jazz, 27. Charlotte Hornets, 26. Sacramento Kings, 25th. The write-up, the Kings have not fared well following an injury to De'Aaron Fox, losing to the Warriors and twice to the Rockets this week. The last defeat coming by 25 points in Houston. The record-setting offense from last season has sputtered without Fox, putting up a measly 101 points per 100 possessions this week. Domantas Sabonis led the team with an average of 14 points over the 3 games, which tells you everything about Sacramento's struggles right now. Yeah, they dropped 16 spots from 9 to 25. Ouch.
It's true, but he shouldn't say it.
The next couple of opponents. Why did you think of that?
Am I wrong?
No, but in your mind, how did you come up with that? You're like, I got the
Oh,
drop.
I say that all the time.
Okay. Blazers, the Kings' opponent tomorrow, they're ranked 21st according to this power rankings. And then OKC, who the Kings will see in the first tournament game on Friday. Where are the Thunder here? Where are the Thunder? Wait, I do not see the Oklahoma City Thunder. This can't be right.
They're not even on the list?
There they
All
are.
right.
There they are. 16th. 16th. They dropped 4 spots at 4 and 3. Oh, boy. Well, I hope today, at least at this point, was a little bit cathartic for all of you to either listen to it, talk about it. Is this coming from Chris on the text line? Brooklyn 99. You're welcome, J. Ross.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is fantastic.
You love that show.
Yeah.
That's done, right?
Yes.
About 5-6 years?
It's been gone for that long?
No. How many years was that show?
I want to say it was like 8 seasons.
Right?
Yeah, it's pretty long.
Another one, did I tell you about this, Chris? Where did I go recently where I was on a flight where I was watching, the back of the seat had a screen. So you're like, oh, I'll watch whatever they provide for you. And I watched 3 episodes of Community. And you've shown me clips of Community. I laughed very hard on the plane.
Do you happen to know what
it was like the trailer and probably the first 2. So I'm sure it's
the first few episodes.
Uh-huh. Or maybe the first 3.
That's the show where like the first 3 seasons.
Seize the day.
The first 3 seasons are absolutely fantastic. And after that, it kind of gets like,
Okay. I'm a big fan. I'm such a fan of Chevy Chase, and I
ignore everything about Chevy Chase.
I hear all these horrific stories about him as a human. In fact, I even saw a report, maybe it was a 60 Minutes, where they were talking to him about what people say about him, and he was so rude and cavalier about that. He's like, yeah, bleep them. And I'm like, oh, man, why do I think he's really funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah, and
he's very good in that show, too.
And he might just be a jerk.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Fletch is one of my favorite movies, Vacations, but that is a very funny show. Very good characters. I need to watch more of those as well. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine, you've shown me some clips on that. I have seen a couple of episodes, but not enough of it to get all in. All right, we will break. Come back. We have our final segment. It's Crosstalk. We'll welcome in Styles and Watkins. We also will have celebrity birthdays brought to you by our friends at Crumble Cookies. And we'll cleanse our palate, wash our hands from the brutal night that was the Kings last night, as we have a final segment straight ahead here on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
On December 9th, witness a mind-bending show like no other with The Clairvoyants Holiday Spectacular at Gold Country Casino Resort in Oroville, featuring mind-reading, magic tricks, and illusions, with a special appearance from Mr. Coney Handini, the world's first mind-reading dog. Get your tickets now to see The Clairvoyants live, only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Trucksmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Trucksmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. Trucksmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
iPhone 15 Pro on Verizon.
This holiday, trade in any iPhone in any condition for the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium, Apple TV 4K, and 6 months of Apple One. All on us with unlimited Ultimate. Go to your local Verizon store now. 6 months of Apple One, then $10 per month. $999.99 device payment or full retail purchase with new smartphone line on unlimited Ultimate plan required. Less $1,000 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Apple TV 4K and Apple One offers require eligible phone purchase with activation on unlimited Ultimate. Additional terms and conditions apply. Visit Verizon.com for details.
Team, it's snowing again tomorrow. They're predicting 2 to 3 feet.
'Tis the overtime season for Frank Snowplows.
Kelly, can you take another shift?
Let it snow. Quality driver applicants.
Hey guys, know anybody else with a D license?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports
home this Saturday, 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There we are.
Okay.
Yes. Woo. What's up, guys?
Hi, Jason.
Hi. How's everybody doing?
Going?
Nobody's wearing Kings gear today. That's weird.
No. Weird. That baby beam shirt that was ordered, it got lost in the mail.
Back ordered. Yeah.
Remember yesterday, Alan, when you were like, "Yeah, no, I'm in. I'm all in on the Kings." Like he's already quit.
I'm in. Yeah. I'm in.
You're in for the misery.
When they come out of this, like the Phoenix, I will say I was with them in the gutter. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at.
You can still technically say you hopped on before the bandwagon was there. Like,
That's
obviously
true.
last year had its own bandwagon,
Right.
but I think at this point with where things are at, I think it's okay to kind of hop back on. This might be like a last call, last service to
That's
get
right.
on.
We had a great question really in the show. How long, and partly your job, so I think I know the answer, but it's okay if you checked out. Did you guys watch the whole thing?
I tried. I don't know if you saw it because I posted it on Twitter as well. My 6-month-old is hardcore teething. So she was
Which
getting
was more
after it.
enjoyable?
The teething, actually. The teething. Yes, there's a lot going on.
At least there's an end in sight to that.
Yes, just to set the scene for you. Would you rather watch the game last night, or have your 6-month-old teething with an apartment full of stuff, with your mother also there trying to help the teething child, and then the wife just trying to keep it all together?
It sounds chaotic, but was that part going okay?
Yeah.
So I'd take that. I mean, if that was
I can
going okay,
imagine
if
how
it was
that would-
utterly chaotic, then maybe I'd still watch the game. But
She just cried. I mean, and people were
It's
saying,
a helpless feeling.
Was it the teething that was making her cry, or the Kings play?
Yeah.
Which I don't know.
Might
To
be
be
the
honest,
offense.
The answer is yes.
Yeah,
You know?
it's the offense.
It looked bad.
Did you stick with it?
Unfortunately, yeah. There was definitely there's been a couple moments these past 2 games where if I was not doing the post-game live stream, probably halftime would have gotten turned off.
Yeah, I'm not a guy that I never have walked out of a movie ever.
Yeah.
So if that was a home game and you were a fan, when's the exit?
Kind of depends how much I paid for tickets. I mean, anytime after that third quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the middle of that third quarter, it was
Right.
It was pretty good.
But the thing is, because it's cooked, you can stay because you're not really worried about traffic at that point.
Yeah.
Right. So if you wanted to stay, there's not going to be any rush.
Yeah. Ironically, the traffic is worse trying to get out of there.
Probably.
Early.
Yeah. It's like there's that many people at one time.
I will say, Jason, I know you've been born into this Kings terrible games and stuff like that, but it was weird kind of getting back to the mindset of, oh yeah, this is like when the young guys play, and this used to be the show. Like this used to be why we watched, and the next day of content would almost exclusively be did you guys see Keon Ellis
Yeah,
yesterday? Like,
Keon
I
Ellis.
know that the Kings suck, but like we already knew that. What does the future hold?
Yes.
It was kind of weird to dip our toe back into that territory.
Tiny victories.
Yeah.
Hashtag tiny
Yeah,
victories.
really, like
Very
microscopic.
minuscule.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, honestly, I was surprised. Like to lose, surprising. The way the answer, the response, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough when you thought you hit rock bottom, and then a couple days later,
it's
you
worse.
Somehow it really was worse.
It was,
and I think that's the thing that was most surprising was it wasn't like it was different but still bad. It was the same but worse.
Yeah.
And it looked. I mean, they talked a lot about how Mike Brown had that hour-long film session, and I can't imagine what that session would be today because after you yell at your team for an hour straight, it's like clearly that message didn't get through. Do I just say nothing?
Yeah.
Do I go even harder? Like
no. And it's funny because you hear the term just burn the tape or burn the game film. Can you burn the series? Is that even allowed? I mean,
Not when it looks that
can you
bad.
burn 2 in a row? I don't know. And honestly, for me, I don't play De'Aaron Fox again. I'll just let them sulk in it. I'm not bringing De'Aaron Fox back for the Blazers.
Yeah.
You guys are going to figure this out one way or the other. That's what I would say.
He's the league MVP at this point.
Yeah.
He means that much.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe we just learned that De'Aaron is actually an MVP candidate.
Yeah.
Who knew? But I don't think that's the case. But at this point, it's the most likely scenario.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what's going to show a lot of dissecting of teams.
Yes, blame pie very early, about 10:30. Chris Biederman at 11, and we're talking Niners Super Bowl odds. And we're trying to pull some positives.
Yes,
pulling some positives as much as we can.
Minor bright spots.
Yes, and then another new segment at 1:00, the Truck Smart Drive of the Week. Which all I'll say is that Chris is very excited about it.
Yeah,
very excited.
A lot of good candidates for the Drive of the Week. This week.
Any chance? There's the preview. There's any Kings related to that? I know
the people driving home from the game. Yes, that would be the Drive of the Week for sure.
All right. Well, we look forward to that coming up today. I think we've kind of jumped the shark on our national days of the week.
Okay.
Today is International Merlot Day. I mean, that's fine. That's a wine. You guys like wine?
I'm a cab guy.
Cab?
Yeah, I've kind of gotten off the line.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, I don't know. Went through a phase, but not anymore.
The Kings lose again. You might be back on.
Exactly.
Something a whole lot stronger than that.
National Retinol Day. Sure. International Day of Medical Physics. National Canine Lymphoma Awareness Day. All right. Well,
Can you inform me of what canine lymphoma is?
Well, it would be a cancer for the dog. We don't want that. I mean, they need to be aware, but okay.
It's not even Wednesday yet, Chris.
I just was
And then National Bittersweet Chocolate with Almonds Day. I mean, very specific.
That is extremely specific.
No cashews. Got to be
almonds. It's got to be bittersweet chocolate, not dark, not semi-sweet.
I guess.
Okay, well, we'll cleanse our palate with celebrity birthdays. Brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Birthdays with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than cookies. Thin day today here as well.
Well, that's good because I usually don't do this, but I have a celebrity birthday for you guys.
Oh, well, why don't you start?
Today is, I'm sorry, Alan, I'm not sure if you know this person, Charles T. Hamilton's birthday.
Chuck T.
How old is Chucky T?
Yeah. He's definitely not pretty well. Let's say Chuck Dog is 33.
33.
And I have 34.
Mason, you want to give it a try, Alan?
Sure. 32.
Someone you never met.
Jason, you're our winner. Chucky T is actually 37 today.
Oh, Chucky T. Look,
but he makes that look good.
Yeah, he does. So much for you can't teach your old dog.
That's right.
Come on.
One of a kind there. All right, we're going to try something different here on this part because it was thin on the birthdays. On this day, in what year did the movie Elf?
Ooh. No. This is probably like the last good Christmas movie made. Yeah. I mean,
yes.
Wow.
Like
throwing
a
a lot of
Hudgens
shade
fan
at
or
Krampus
something.
I'm trying to
right
think
now.
if it was high school or middle school.
Don't say that.
I think if I was in diapers.
No, I'm going to go. I think it was high school because I remember being off and then it had like a weird, it got hot after. It wasn't hot immediately to me.
Sure.
And a lot of people got it later. So I'm going to go
2005. That sounds right. I'll go. I was thinking 06, 07. I'll say 06.
I think I was working at DHL at the time when it came out.
Wow.
And I believe that was 2004. So I'm going to say that.
So we have 4, 5, and 6. The correct answer is 2003.
Oh, wow.
Chris.
I would have never guessed that old.
All right, another movie.
That's crazy.
This is really underappreciated movie. Very funny, I think. Role Models.
Oh, very underrated.
Yes. What year? What year? It was this date. Role Models was released on November 7th. What year?
Yeah, that's got to be. Yeah, that's a tough one actually. But I'm gonna go 2010.
I can picture where I was when my friend first said, like, "Oh, let's watch."
The thing about this too is with this movie and Elf, I believe we all saw it like on DVD, so we're like kind of like a year behind.
Yeah, right. I'll say 2007.
I'm going to say 2008. 2007, 2008, 2010.
Either 06 or 07.
We have a correct answer.
Either 06 or 07.
It's 2008.
Wow.
Okay, there you go.
So was in 8th grade.
All right. Happy birthday, heavenly birthday to former wrestler King Kong Bundy.
This is all on Verlon.
Yeah. I'm just gonna
Should I go first?
Yeah, you go first. Set the bar.
I am going to say that he was going to be 63.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna go 66.
King Kong Bundy, 69.
We have a correct answer, and it's Alan Styles,
Yeah.
66. He knows his wrestling.
Big wrestling fan.
Heavenly birthday. Guys, this is so... Okay, I'll give you happy birthday to Sonny Gray.
Okay.
A picture for...
Okay. All right.
Oh, he's still playing.
Yeah. It's the playoffs. Yeah.
I think he's got to be. Honestly, he's 31.
There's no
I think
way.
he's a little younger than
31. I'll say 36.
34.
We have a correct answer. Chris Villard, 34 for Sonny Gray.
That's crazy.
I'm just going to read you the names because I just
Sure.
researched. I mean, singer Joni Mitchell.
No idea.
Christopher
cousin?
Knight, who was Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch.
68.
Not bad, 66. Jim Cott, former pitcher, broadcaster. Kaylee Hartung, who's on the sidelines for Amazon on Thursday nights. Buck
34.
Martinez, former local guy, former catcher. Chris Mortensen. Let's do Chris Mortensen.
My dad went to
School with
Casumnas with
Buck Martinez. How about Chris Mortensen, former NFL insider from ESPN? The Mort Report.
Mort Report, right. Jeez. 64?
67.
67, Chris?
69.
Chris for the win, 72. Wow. Chris Mortensen. Warriors legend, Al Attles.
He was on the Al Attles court in Oakland.
There you go.
Really?
Wow. KD remade it, and it was blue every time.
Oh, how can you forget this guy? Adam Devine.
Ah.
Actor, comedian, workaholics, Pitch Perfect.
He's also, doesn't he? I believe he's dating somebody from Sacramento.
He was, I think they broke up.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
It's the Rockets that did it.
Yeah. Can't blame him.
How old is Adam Devine?
I did miss him. He's got to be. That's the number I had in my head. I was going to say he's 40.
I'll say 37.
I was going to go 36.
We have a correct answer. Jason Ross,
Oh,
40 years
wow.
old.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I missed him. Sorry about that.
Alcoholics was a great
Al
show.
Attles, do we have a guess?
No. 80.
Yeah, I was going to say 79.
Chris?
82.
You want 87.
Wow.
And the last one I could find, former King, barely played for the Kings, Darnell Jackson.
No, don't.
Slim pickings.
47.
68.
He's middle 54.
47 somehow is the winner. He's 38.
Wow.
We'll be better tomorrow. Much like the Kings.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll be better.
They have to be better, right?
They have to.
They have to. Are we excited for Keegan versus Chris? Murray?
Is
The
Chris playing?
Battle of the Murrays? Probably not. Has he played yet this
Has
year?
Keegan played?
Oh, come on now. Come on now. More than that later. 10-2. Come on. That hurt. He's not wrong.
Styles and Watkins coming up next.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship